Welcome back to the Yins Betcha podcast. Another great week. It's just everywhere you turn, there's football, and there's just nothing better. I can't come on here and say anything else other than football's everywhere.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It is. It really is. It's great. A great time to be alive and keep watching football. But we have bowl mania everywhere. As usual, we have college football, we have NFL football recaps and previews. We're going to go through. This week we'll go through more of the bowl games up until probably like the 26th we talked about. We'll probably have a show the 26th, and then we'll go after that. So we're kind of just scheduling them all out so we can just give you a good sample size while we're on the show, and then come back and then do more of them. So at some point we will get through all of these, but I think this is a good. Right before we go on the 26th, we have all those games, but this is a good amount of games for this week, so which is good. But yeah. How you feeling?
I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
I may still cough. Tyler's finally let me out of the closet.
Yeah, you sound good.
We have an upgraded system here. I now have the same microphone as Tyler. I've graduated.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell this brand is.
Rode.
Okay.
Red.
Yeah.
Sponsor us, Red.
Yes.
Sponsor us, please. Even mics.
Yeah. We've only dumped fucking $300 for the merchandise already.
At this point, yeah.
So, but I'm feeling better. Last week I apologize for my voice. I don't think it's all the way back, but hopefully I won't cough as much as I did last week. But I'm still on a hot streak for college football.
Yes.
Between the conference championships and the first 5 bowl games, I am now 14-0. That's the only college game I've lost is fucking Army. The Navy game on Saturday. So
wow.
And I wouldn't have picked them. I wouldn't have picked Navy even if I thought they were going to win. So,
I know. That was such that game. Yeah, we'll get into it.
Sure.
But a good week. We will get through the Vikings going on another win. The Steelers losing. You have a 2-game lead, as we talked about before, with our little bet we have going on. And then we'll get through all of those games. So, action-packed show today. You want to start recapping some college?
Sure. Yeah. You want to go with college?
Yeah, that's good.
Well, obviously, we talked briefly about my alma mater making the Division II semifinals, Slippery Rock. I gave them no chance during the podcast.
Yeah.
I said Ferris State was a powerhouse. They had won 2 of the last 3 national championships. But Slippery Rock led that whole game by double digits, and they choked it away. They had opportunities in that second half. They actually had every drive crossed into Ferris State territory, and they came in with no points in the second half. They threw 2 interceptions in the end zone. One after kicking a field goal. They took the field goal off the board because they got an automatic first down, which was the right call. But they threw a pick 2 plays later, got the ball back, came down again, threw another interception.
Yeah, that's what a turn of events.
The first half they gave up a pick 6, a kick return for a touchdown. It was a wild game for sure. It was 38-27 Slippery Rock at halftime.
Yeah.
But they ended up losing 48-38. So
wow.
I'm bummed. So it is now Ferris State and Valdosta State playing for the title on Saturday at 2:00.
Yeah.
So
who do you have for that
typical
game?
Slippery Rock. I mean, this is usually where they max out.
Yeah.
They probably made it around further than they normally have.
I mean, it's a good run. It is.
Yeah.
I think that was a great run.
It definitely is. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Valdosta. I mean, after watching Ferris, I mean, they definitely Slippery Rock was going up and down the field on them. So I worry about their defense, which was supposed to be strong. They have a running quarterback who proved hard to stop. So
for sure.
So again, I don't know. Valdosta is number 1 in the country, so I'm sure they're the favorite. I don't follow it enough to see what the analysis on it. I'll tune in. Obviously, there's a lot of games going on Saturday,
Be a lot of
including
games.
the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
But, it is 2:00 on ESPN. I'll probably tune in just to see if it ends up being a good game or not.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm not picking anybody in that. I have no idea.
Yeah. Or my
I'm bitter. I almost feel like if Ferris wins, I'm going to be even more frustrated.
Yeah.
That Slippery Rock's going to have a shot at it.
We are. I mean, of course, my alma mater, Youngstown State, is nowhere to be found at this point. But the FCS playoffs are going all over too. Montana State looks amazing.
There's a small part of the United States calendar that is involved right now.
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
yes,
it's all the Dakotas.
The Dakotas, yes, and then you had Mercer who couldn't compete with North Dakota State last week, and Montana State looks good, and North Dakota State looks good. That's going to be a fun one. I think it's probably going to be the championship, but we'll see there. But yeah, that's awesome. The wide receiver I wanted to talk about too. Your wide receiver for Slippery Rock was awesome.
Yeah.
He had It was like, I don't even know if it was, I think it was the first half, and he had like 130 yards and three touchdowns.
Yeah, yep.
He was awesome in that game.
Yes,
for sure.
Their quarterback is up for the Harlan Hill, which is basically the Division II Heisman. I don't think he'll win it, but he balled out again. They shot themselves in the foot, which is typical Slippery Rock.
Yeah.
I actually called them the Minnesota Vikings in Division II. Always find a way to beat themselves when it matters. So
the Vikings are not beating themselves this year, though. They're
not yet.
Not yet.
I can't wait to talk about them.
Yeah, we will get
now.
I'm
starting to smell myself, which means it's gonna come crashing down very soon.
Yeah,
very soon. We're going for that number 1 spot, man. They got a shot.
Man, if you get never mind. I'll ask you when we get there. Yeah, I'm excited for the NFL. It's been a fun time so far. So we can go through just what we've taken so far, I guess, right?
Do you want to talk Army Navy real quick?
Oh, yeah, let's do
that. Just get that out of the way.
Yeah. And we could do points for college. No, we can't yet because you are not.
I'm not yet. I have not completed. I did take Army was my favorite, and I felt good about it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they just, Navy wanted it more. And it doesn't surprise me, that kind of rivalry. And not that Navy's a dog team either. I mean, they're going bowling. They're a decent, legit team. But, Daly, I don't know if Daly's still not 100% from his injury earlier in the year or not. But they just couldn't stop Horvath. I mean, he just ran through everything. So
that quarterback, man, he just kept running. He can run it, and it couldn't stop him. Could not stop him. I was shocked, though. I really thought Army had the team this year and all that other stuff, but Navy told them no. And that's how that went. I mean, it's crazy. So I don't know.
I mean,
I watched that game, and I don't really have much, I just thought to myself, damn, Navy just kept doing it and doing it. They couldn't get stopped. So
the Slippery Rock was on at the same time on ESPN Plus. So I was trying to go back and forth, but I was leaving the Army game paused in the living room. So I was kind of behind, but I was getting texts not just from you, from other people, that it was not going well. I watched it, but not really. I kind of knew that they weren't winning.
I'll never play spoiler for you though.
I
always say I know you're
I knew it was bad when I saw Army go for it on 4th and 6 on their own 45. There's 4 minutes left in the third.
Yeah.
And granted, they were down 21-10, and I know that's what Army does. They don't punt. If they can get away with it.
Yeah.
But typically that's when it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3. Something short, but
they'll go for it when they're on their own 20.
I'm okay with that. If you need a yard
from a standpoint like that. Yeah,
Harbaugh did it with the Ravens a couple weeks ago. To me, if you can't get a fucking yard, then you don't deserve it anyway. So I'm okay with it. Hell, it's risky as hell, but 4th and 6 when you're a running team.
Yeah,
that's a tough call for me. They picked it up, but only because they got the PI. And that was the thing. They threw it, which is their strong suit anyway. I just didn't like it, but they got the PI and a roughing the passer on the same play, so it ended up working out on that particular one. But I mean, at the start of the 4th quarter, they missed a wide open wide receiver that would have got them 6 points. On that same drive, they end up having to burn their second time out, had to settle for a field goal, and they got it down to a 1 possession game. But then that fucking fake punt by Navy.
Oh, I know.
I mean. Great call.
It was.
Not much you can do about it.
I was I watched it. I was so pissed when that happened. I was so mad. I had Army myself, and you had him on the show, so I was just dang it, dude. Come on. And then I remember that taking that life out of me. I was like, dang it. Yeah,
it was a good play call. I'll tell you what, we've seen some really good fake punts, and when we get to this game, the game last night, I don't know if you saw the fake punt in the Cal MLB game.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta Google that. That was a fucking cool ass fake punt. He shoveled past it. Cal was actually bringing everybody.
Yeah.
Except for the return. I mean, 10 guys were just rushing it. And so it's almost like they knew it was coming, and they had this play designed for it.
Yeah.
And he did a chest pass, like it was basketball. Leaped up over all the defenders that were coming at him. And, I mean, the guy was wide open. He ran it 40 yards down to this point. And then they scored on the next play. So it was one of those get you out of your seat.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, obviously I'm not a coward UNLV fan, but just as a casual sport watcher, it was really, really, really cool. So if you haven't seen it,
I will
Google the fake punt in the Cal UNLV game.
Oh, man.
Really, really cool.
That's awesome.
So that's all I got on Navy, Army. Obviously, we both picked Army. Army was my lock of the week, so did not get any points there. And we're actually, because we were unsure if we were going to record today or tomorrow, we hadn't picked those Friday games. So Jacksonville State's my underdog tomorrow against Ohio. So just got to kind of wait and see. Obviously, we'll make some picks today, so they'll just have to carry over for the next week. Yeah.
Well, I guess if you picked, you're still going to count tomorrow night's game for this week, though, right?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, because then you'll be in the next slate of games.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Perfect. Okay.
But yeah, let's go through the bowl games first.
Yeah. We got Cricket Celebration Bowl. Jackson State pulls out the win against SC State. I watched some of this game. Jackson State, which it was weird because they were not favored, and I think they should have been to start. But wins outright, and SC State just didn't look as tough as people thought they were going to. I guess I don't really know, but Jackson State pulls it out. Yeah.
I don't have a lot to add to this one. I didn't watch a lot of it. We had it on when we were still recording last Saturday, but I didn't stay tuned into it for later in the game. I know Georgetown was on that afternoon against Syracuse. I was watching some of that.
But,
I did not get to see the rest of it, so don't have anything to add to it.
Yeah.
I picked it. We both did actually.
Yeah.
So both Tyler and I know I've been bragging about my 14-0 streak here between the conference championships and the
just keep riding the hot
bowl.
hand here.
You are also 5-0.
I'm also 5-0
on the bowl, so we're both 5-0 on straight up anyway.
Yeah.
And we're cautioning you on that we're definitely not perfect when it comes to the spreads.
No.
So the next one, same night, South Alabama, Western Michigan. I actually watched most of that the next morning.
Yeah.
South Alabama 130-23. This was actually Tyler's lock of the week. With a 9-point spread, so you missed it by 2.
Yeah.
So you do get a point for the victory.
We'll take it. But yeah, don't have a whole lot to add to this one either. But another South, a win's a win for
That's
that
right.
for sure. So.
That's right. These are hard games to pick because you don't know who's playing, who's not. I didn't know up until kickoff that South Alabama's regular starting quarterback wasn't playing, so I'm like, oh great.
Yeah.
But they still pulled it out.
What game?
And it took them a while to get going too because of that.
What game was it? I think it was James Madison. They had a third string quarterback in.
Yeah.
How did we not know that? Like, you know what I mean?
It's one of those things. I mean, if you follow them closely enough, you figure that out. But these games aren't being previewed the way they are. The way the playoff games are, and deservedly so because of that. So it's a guessing game.
We need to figure it out.
Coaching carousel, the transfer portal.
Which I was going to go into. We need to figure it out. But you can't have kids leave because what happens is the semester for them ends, and the NCAA says you have to transfer out before you start the spring semester, so you have to make a decision. So right now, as it stands for football, you're pretty much you have to move now, or you're not going to move.
Yeah, they need to fix it.
They need to fix it.
It's not fair. I mean, and you can't blame the players for doing it because they want to be able to have all the options on the table for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the rule's the rule, and it is what it is. But you just change the fucking rule. That's all you got to do. Just back up the date.
Yeah.
How hard is that? How come we can't wait till the middle of January?
Right.
To do this? Penn State's quarterback, who they use for pack. I mean, he's kind of like a Justin Fields right now for the Steelers.
Yeah.
They bring him in short yardage situations. He's gotten in every single game this year, whether it's been a close game or a blowout. He was, supposed to be the predecessor to Drew Aller, but Aller announced that he's coming back for another year. Yeah. So, I can't remember the quarterback's name. I apologize, but
the backup. I know
Privia,
Tyler Moore or whatever
that
tight end's name. Yeah.
Yeah, but he put his name in the transfer portal, and so now he's not playing in the playoff.
That sucks for them.
For a national championship, and they're in a bracket that to me is winnable. We talked about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy that. But I don't blame him. Like he's got to give himself the best opportunity moving forward, and if he waits until Penn State season's done,
he's out of luck.
Then I mean, it's possible they're out by Saturday. Maybe he still would have had kind of a pick of the litter a little bit. But,
right.
It's a risk that he didn't want to take, and he's got to look out for the best interest of himself.
He does, yeah.
So I don't blame him.
That's what they're there to figure it out. Like the kids there, the coaches there, they're there to help the kids move on and to help them to make better decisions in their life. They're still kids, crazy, but that's what they're there for. So, the rule itself going to be interesting to see how they pan out on that. But
Sure.
Next game was Memphis, West Virginia, in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
So, we should play a game. I feel like I'm probably stealing it from somebody. I don't know if it was on PTI or not, but they played the game where they came. No. It was a radio station, and they came out with 5 bowl games and the sponsors, and you had to guess which one wasn't real. That would be fun. I wish I should do that with you, but this one is a real one. Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
That would be fun. That would be so fun.
Rich Rod coming back to West Virginia starting next year.
Yeah.
They were interviewing him during the game. Memphis jumped on him early. Mountaineers, started to mount a comeback. If you see what I did there.
Yeah.
But Memphis's quarterback, Hennigan.
Yeah. Harrigan,
maybe I can blank on his name now, but in this day and age of transfer portal, was a true 4-year starter. Did not use extra eligibility that was available for COVID. Threw for over 14,000 yards in his career. Probably has an outside shot making an NFL team.
Yeah.
Could get drafted.
4th, 5th round.
At least maybe a free agent. That's rare to see.
Yeah, it's a true player.
He stayed with this school all 4 years and started all 4 years.
We should start giving them awards for that at this point, right? I mean, you're going to start seeing a lot of people start just leaving, and I think that's another issue is you go to a team to learn how to become a man to go to the NFL or whatever aspiration you want to do. And now you keep leaving these teams, and these teams are going to – every team you transfer to, in my opinion, is going to set you back.
Yep.
Even just a little bit. Even if you're the top-rated quarterback in the nation. You go to a different team, I don't know, maybe you're looking for a national championship. Even if you're on a national championship team that you're thinking they're going to win, I still think it's a downgrade for you. And I don't know. I don't know how these NFL teams are really
West Virginia's wide receiver balled out in that game, by the way. Clement had a career high, I believe, 10, 11 catches. A couple touchdowns. Some good catches in that game. So, entertaining game to watch. I can't remember what the line was, but I know we picked Memphis both to win outright, and it did. So,
I love just picking games, man. I don't the spread. You take the spread out, it's great. Yeah.
I didn't the interception at the end of the game. So West Virginia was driving with a chance to win the game, and Memphis, I believe it was a linebacker, picked it off inside the 20, and there was maybe 20 seconds to go. West Virginia was out of timeouts. The kid's running around and I'm like, get down. Guess what? He fumbled it.
Yeah.
But they reviewed it, and he technically was coming down to a slide. He wasn't down yet when the ball got knocked loose. And it was a clear recovery by West Virginia, and it looked like, they're going to have a shot at the 39-yard line, 16 seconds. They'd had 2 or 3 shots at the end zone. But they reviewed it and determined at that point he's kind of like a quarterback. When you're sliding, you're quote-unquote giving yourself up.
Yeah.
So even though he wasn't down and hadn't completed the slide yet, they took the fumble off the board, which if that's the rule, again, if it's a rule, I'm fine with that.
You're fine with it, yeah.
But I'd maybe change the rule. Because I just he fucking lost it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to me, the unawareness of the situation, he should almost have been penalized for losing the ball. Because, again, he ran around 15 to 20 yards.
Right.
For 5 seconds and didn't need to do it. As soon as he picked it off, in college, you're down the moment you're down.
Yeah.
So that's all you need to do is get down and just get down.
Yeah.
And be done with it. So
that's crazy.
You could tell the coaches were pretty upset on the sideline.
Yeah.
Initially before they overturned it. So obviously you got a reprieve there, but
slide down, get down.
Just get down. Yeah. Wow. That was could have been disastrous. If they give that ball back to him and West Virginia scores. Again, it's only the Frisco Bowl, but still, he'd live with that. That could be the biggest game in his lifetime. He may not make the NFL.
That could be the biggest thing he ever do.
And you could have lived with that.
God.
Yeah. So, and you kids out there, get down. Know the situation.
It's hard to think in the adrenaline spot, though. I think it's hard to think in that spot, but you got to kind of have that game mentality.
But you're 80 yards from the end zone too. It's not like you're going to get a pick six and score. Sometimes you see that situation where a running back will bust out a run, get the first down, and all he has to do is get down because the other team's out of timeouts. You'll see some of them run into the end zone. I'll admit that one's harder to do. you want to get that touchdown, you want to get that accolade.
Yeah.
So I can forgive that one, especially if you're in the end zone, you're putting more points on the board anyway.
Right,
you know?
right.
And so at the end of the day, you should still be able to stop the other team from scoring. But this is just where you were situationally. You knew that was a risk, and if you fumble it, you're giving them the ball right there.
Yeah,
It goes from a pick to a potential 20-yard gain from West Virginia. You know? You can't do that. So, so I wrote that down because I was like, I definitely want to mention that.
Definitely.
When we talked about that game. So,
yeah.
Western Kentucky, James Madison.
The Boca Raton Bowl.
Boca Raton.
I wish I was down there. I would love to watch
Western Kentucky had won this game 2 other times previously. So James Madison gets their first bowl win as a Division I school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were in the bowl game last year, but they did not win it.
Dang.
So they got their first win.
Great season for them. Great season, I think, for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, it was fun to watch. I loved the third string quarterback. It was 14-7, and he was in the end zone. They were on 2, and he just the guys were rushing him, and he made a great throw right over the top. He just jumped and threw the ball into the end zone. They tied it up, and then he made some great throws out there. He made for sure for being a third string quarterback, which he could now be the starter, which is crazy to think about. So, great win for James Madison for sure. Next one was UNLV California.
Yeah.
The AOS LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.
All right, and Gronk was there.
Wow.
UNLV, like I said, I mentioned about that fake punt. That you guys got to Google that. That was a really cool pop pass that he did.
I will be looking at that.
Yes. Yeah. UNLV just kind of took over physically in the second half. Held Cal scoreless in the second half. It was only a 14-13 game at halftime. And really it was kind of just 2 big plays by UNLV that got them their first touchdowns. I actually thought Cal outplayed them in the first half, but Cal also missed a field goal, which they struggled with all year. We talked about that a few weeks ago. If they would have had a kicker, they would have upset Pitt earlier this year, and I think they had another loss that pretty much came down to special teams as well. So Cal's a little young. They end up putting in a true freshman quarterback in that game.
Oh, wow.
Because Cal was also down to their third string quarterback. And he showed some signs, and it made me excited to the prospect of maybe Michigan putting in Jaden Davis.
Oh, God.
Alabama. So I'd love to see it. But
I just want to see some progression, some reads, something. Yeah.
Yep. There's another game where the incoming coach was interviewed during the broadcast, Ian Mullen.
Yeah.
So he's pretty excited to go there. Obviously UNLV's got resources, man. They got a good location. They're playing in an NFL stadium. They're getting big into the NIL. The transfer portal. So
it's a great spot for Dan.
It is.
For Dan.
Yep.
Yeah. So
this team only lost 3 games this year, and 2 of them were to Boise State. So
crazy. Yeah.
They're a legit team. This was one of these easy teams Michigan had on the schedule last year, if you remember. And this team's going to end up finishing ranked.
Yeah.
So the very next year. So we've only had 2 ranked teams playing bowl games so far, 24 and 25, and they both won. So whatever that's worth. But we did talk about tonight's game, Georgia Southern, Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Real quick, who are you picking?
I had Georgia Southern.
I got Sam Houston. So this will be the first game Tyler
you're separate.
Different. So one of us will be 6-0. The other.
This spread was like a 1.5 or something, right?
Yeah. And again, I don't know anything about either one. I think Georgia Southern is still favored. I think it might have went up a couple points.
Yeah.
I'm just taking Sam Houston on a win. They've been strong in the second half. I know that much.
For sure. Right.
And then So Ohio, Jacksonville State tomorrow. Jacksonville State is my underdog at 3.5 there, and we got Tulane in Florida. And I'm pretty convinced Florida's going to blow them out. They look good in the second half.
I think I'm hoping it's a little closer than a blowout, but yeah, Florida, I have them too. I also have Ohio tomorrow night with Florida tomorrow night, and I'm hoping to get 2 more wins there with you. Yeah, sure. Tonight Georgia Southern's -4, so we'll see. I don't know. I don't know either about any of the teams, those 2 teams. So we'll see what happens there. But
we're gonna do. I don't know. I know Kendall mentioned maybe coming on and giving her picks.
That'd be cool.
She's home. Yeah, well, let's do the bowl games up until the 26th real quick, and then we'll go take a quick break, and then we'll talk about the playoff and see if she wants to join us. Because that way we can take one game at a time.
That'd be good.
And all 3 of us make our pick and move on. So we're going to skip the playoff for a minute.
Yep.
We're going to go to Monday the 23rd, the Myrtle Beach Bowl, at 11 a.m. You gotta love those when you're at work, working from home.
I know.
Throw the bowl game on in the background. Don't worry, Maryland, I'm still getting my work done.
Yeah.
So we got Coastal Carolina, Texas, San Antonio playing that day.
That'll be interesting for.
You know what? I'm looking at the playoff schedule with no lines. I know Tyler, I believe, is looking up some spreads.
I just looked at that one for Myrtle Beach.
I want to pick some of these without the spread.
Okay, all right.
First, just because I'm curious, and some of these, again, I don't follow a lot of these teams, so a lot of it's just a gut thing for me.
Jeez, this first one's interesting. Though.
It is interesting.
And I think I'm not going to tell you the spread, but what I'm thinking is a lot of people are sitting for a certain team, so. It should be a lot closer than what it is. So
okay.
I don't know if that's going to make you weary or not, but kind of want to give you that.
And both of these teams have had their moments the last couple of years.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they've both been ranked.
Coastal Carolina was yeah.
And I think UTSA might have snuck in there in the 20s at one point.
Yeah.
Where they were hovering around it. I'm going to go Texas San Antonio.
Okay. Yeah, I am too.
I feel great about it, but I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'm also picking UTSA here. It's kind of freaking me out. I'm not going to say anything else about it, but why?
I'm guessing Coastal's favorite?
No, they're not.
Okay.
But it's more of a jump than I thought it'd be. So, anyways, UTSA. I'm not going to really think anymore on that because I don't really think I like UTSA in the spot. But now that I saw that, I have to. Okay. I'm taking them. So
what is that line?
I'll give you it's -10 for UTSA. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it will factor in once we make our
that's true.
Our favorites and underdogs of the league. So,
yeah.
All right. So let's go to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl at 2:30.
This is always a fun one. I always like the Idaho Potato Bowl.
Well, because usually it's fucking snowing up there.
Yeah, really.
You get the blue turf. You can't beat it. So you got Northern Illinois, who end up not having a great year after upsetting Notre Dame.
Yeah.
In South Bend, going up against Fresno State. But then you got Fresno State going up into the cold. So
right.
So this could be an interesting game. Obviously, this was Michigan's season opening opponent. I'm just gonna, Northern Illinois just didn't impress me later on in the year, so I'm gonna go Fresno.
Fresno.
And then you can let me know the line. I'm purposely not looking these up.
Yeah.
Because I'm going straight with my gut and it's working out. So
that's good. Who'd you take? Fresno.
Fresno.
I think Northern Illinois had such a good year beating Notre Dame. I'm afraid to go against you. You know that? I am. I'm afraid.
You're afraid?
I'm afraid.
I think you should do it.
I'm going to do Northern Illinois.
We got to get some separation.
Yeah, we do. Northern Illinois.
What's the line on that?
3.5. No, 3 right now. Northern Illinois is favored. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Can I borrow your pen?
I like that.
I forgot that I already get a pen.
Oh, yeah. I should have got you a second one. So that's it for the 23rd. Obviously, they're playing at 11 and 2:30 for those two games because they're just Monday Night Football. The Hawaii Bowl on Christmas Eve. This is always a
good
tradition for me. I will watch the first half.
Okay.
We send the kids to bed. Santa Claus. He comes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always, after presents, Christmas morning, I'm watching the second half of this game.
It's always the way.
The
recorder.
The recorder comes into play Christmas morning. We don't watch the fucking parade in this house. We watch the second half of the Hawaii Bowl.
Of the Hawaii Bowl.
So this year it'll be South Florida and San Jose State.
Oh man.
I've kind of been on San Jose all year. I'm always like, hey, they're getting points, give them to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to go San Jose State.
I agree. I'm going to go San Jose State myself. I just like them in this spot. I don't know if South Florida.
Favored?
They are.
Okay, this will be the first time I'm taking them as a favorite.
Yeah, but I don't even just like them just because of that. I do like them over South Florida. I don't think South Florida has very good of a team right now either. So,
sure. What is the line on this one?
San Jose State -3.5. So. Yeah,
because I think we're going to do the same thing. The rules will go out of the equation for the amount of spread, just because of the games that we'll have to choose from.
Sure, yeah.
So we're going to go the 26th, day after Christmas, this is the next day we are planning on broadcasting, probably during most likely the Rate Bowl, which is right in the middle of the day. But we're going to go ahead and pick these 3 games just in case we get a late start.
Right.
Just so that we're ready to go. So the game above Sports Bowl, this is the game that's actually
what
in Detroit.
The heck? Yeah.
Pitt and Toledo. And man, Pitt. What a fucking
dude to get.
They just did they win a game at all in the months of?
I don't think December. They don't think they won at all. Or in November they didn't win a game.
No.
I don't know about October. I think the early October.
This is a 35-minute drive for Toledo.
Yeah.
For their fans. I'm rolling with the Rockets, man.
Are you?
I think Pitt just is bad. I could see Toledo winning this game.
Yeah. So
I'm sure it's an upset. I'm sure Pitt's favored.
Yeah, they're favored by 7.
7.
Yeah.
All right, this may be my underdog of the week.
Yeah, in Detroit, this one is interesting. Who I'm going to take the win is Pitt.
Okay.
But I do think Toledo's going to keep it in the realm of 7. So
okay.
Yeah, I like that. Pitt.
Okay.
Pitt.
You know what? I don't even. No, we'll keep moving on. This is because we have playoff games that we can choose from too. So
true.
This is I've got my eye on this one.
Okay.
So Rate Bowl at 5. The Pitt Toledo games at 2:00. By the way, these are all ESPN unless we say otherwise. The Rate Bowl Thursday the 26th, 5:30. This most likely will be on the air during this one. Rutgers, Kansas State.
I love Kansas State. I love them. I think this is an Avery Johnson show that I can be in the NFL game. Yeah.
I'm gonna surprise you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Rutgers.
Wow. To win?
I think Shiano's gonna. Yeah. Wow. I think Shiano's gonna get up for this game.
Okay.
Rutgers, Rob, if you're out there listening to me, I'm going with you, brother.
I hope you're right.
Keep them right down.
Yeah.
I know you're always confident.
Yeah.
Kansas State is a good football team, though.
They are good.
So that's what scares me. But
I mean, their record isn't showing it.
I feel like
they had a down year, but
I hope this doesn't come out as a knock, but I feel like Shiano kind of gets up for the wrong games. Mm-hmm. And so I think he'll get up for this one.
Yeah.
Even though it is at the end of the day the Rate Bowl.
It's a Rate Bowl.
Is it?
Yeah.
But I think he's gonna get his team ready to play.
Okay.
I'm sure they're underdogs. So what's the line on that?
Yeah, it's 7. Kansas State.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. I mean,
man,
sometimes you gotta take upsets.
You do.
And I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna hit some of them. I'm gonna lose some of them.
You do have some that are steep. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm taking Rutgers.
Okay. The 68 Ventures Bowl.
Whatever that is.
That sponsor is. I can see
9 o'clock at night on the 26th. Arkansas State Bowling Green
down in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, it is in Alabama.
Bam.
Give me Arkansas State.
I like the way you pick. No, I think it's a Bowling Green game here. I actually don't know much about either of these two teams, but Bowling Green, another 7-point favorite that you're taking against. So,
wow, I'm taking another 7-point.
So you have
3 straight.
You have 3 straight.
Underdogs.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. One of those 3 games. If you win all 3 of those games, I give one. I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you right now.
I'll tell you that.
Please. Because I know the moment that I put it on a parlay.
It's going to be ball.
Somebody, for the love of God,
that's listening to this show.
Because all 3 of these games are on the same day, Thursday, December 26th. Do yourself a favor, Christmas night.
That is a parlay
next morning,
right there.
And take all 3 of these teams money line.
$100.
$5. You don't have to find. I don't want you to lose all your Christmas money.
Mm-hmm.
Put $5 on, $10, whatever you're comfortable losing. You may end up with a good payday.
Yeah.
Take me out to dinner if you hit.
Yeah, really though. I mean, this is a fun. That's fun.
I mean, think about that.
The Hungry Dogs.
If I would have taken money line on these last 14 damn games that I've picked in a row,
and you would have been up. Dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to be doing this podcast.
Freaking right? Crazy. Yeah, really.
So yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
I don't want to take it. It's bad luck.
Yeah.
If I do it, and what will most likely will happen is I'll probably hit 2 to 3. Because that's the way, you know that. Every fucking parlay I do. Doesn't matter if it's a 5-leg, 6-leg,
it's always 1
7-leg,
leg, right?
It's 1.
1, yeah.
I miss 1. So you just kind of have to figure out and navigate which one I might be off on.
Yeah.
But, if you don't feel as confident, just take the points.
Just take the points.
You're not going to win as much money, but you're getting a touchdown in each one of those games, and I feel like all 3 can win.
Yeah.
So take your touchdown and run and see what comes up.
Right.
So I think we're going to stop there.
We'll take a break, and then we'll try and get Kendall on here potentially.
Kendall, if she's feeling comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. She may claim up and just, maybe we at least get her to just say the winner.
Just say each winner.
She doesn't have to give an analysis. She won't be able to anyway.
No, that's fine. And then we'll come back on. We'll pick on the first round of the playoffs, and then we'll do NFL recap preview.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. Okay, we're back. We're actually going to flip it around, the schedule. We'll do the college football playoff at the end just to give you guys right up until the end of the show. We're going to get you pumped up for all that. And then we'll get Kendall's picks into there too. And it's going to be great. But right now, we'll just flip the NFL first, go through the recap and preview, and then we'll do all that good stuff. So I guess we'll start with the point system, how we've been keeping points for our picks. So we can talk about those games first too. So
yeah, let's talk about it. So you had the Bengals -5 against the Titans.
That was good.
So you covered that and got the road victory. So you got 5 points there. Speaking of that game, wild game by the way. It took forever, like 3.5-hour game. 64 total points, 25 penalties, and 10 turnovers.
Oh my god!
He had a little bit of everything. In that game. So
10 turnovers.
10 turnovers combined in that game. Yeah,
wow.
It's nuts. My boy, we were talking about Malik Hooker and Geno Stone from Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
When they played each other on that Bengals-Cowboys Monday night, both getting a pick.
Yeah.
Stone had a pick 6.
Nice.
So, yeah, another Newcastle shout-out back.
Oh, my God.
Geno Stone, he's that guy.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So, your underdog was the New York Football Giants. But, again, just...
The G, man.
Yeah. Remember, you struggled with... You were throwing. You were throwing
and I
one
said
out
it.
Anyway.
Yeah, I said it. I threw one out, and I was trying to root, like you said, against a divisional rival. So whatever.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. But
I don't really
the
have.
Giants are just that bad.
They're just that bad. Like Dable has to be gone. Get everyone out. Malik Neighbors did well. That's who I was kind of rooting for the entire game, for them to cover.
Even with Tim Boyle had happened to come into that game.
Yeah,
left with an injury. Supposedly he is back next week. So
okay. Yeah, Neighbors is the future. That's all I can say. That's all you got, really.
Yeah, he's legit. It's been a good draft class.
It was.
So many good players. All the quarterbacks are doing good.
Yeah.
Obviously AJ's not playing, but it's just a lot of good rookies this year.
Yeah.
For me, I had the Commanders -7.5 as my favorite of the week, and was covering for a while. 17-0 lead. And boy, I would have been pissed if this line was 6.5, because at the end of the game, the Saints were driving to try to tie it. Got tackled on the 1-yard line. They had no timeouts.
Yeah.
And the clock inadvertently fucking stops for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, and they had no idea. They couldn't figure.
So they were able to get the spike off, with 1 or 2 seconds left, which the clock should have run out. So they got another play, got the touchdown, and I love the call for go for 2. I mean, the Saints had nothing to lose. I mean, it was definitely worth it to go for it.
Right.
So the Commanders hang on, get the win. So I get a point for the win, but no cover. And again, I would have been more irate had I lost those points.
Yeah.
If the line was 6.5, and they gave them that extra play. So wasn't going to end up covering anyway at the end, but it's pretty disappointing when it was looking good at 17-0.
Yeah.
To not come away with that one. So. And then I got a pick of hat 0 from your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. We knew
that
it was probably a kiss of death by me picking them.
I knew it.
I felt good about it.
Because you were taking him the opposite way the entire time. And then, I know it's but it's okay. I understand why you took him. It was a good spot.
But sure.
I'm upset, yeah.
I was trying to decide, did I come out of that game more impressed with the Eagles or less impressed with the Steelers? And I feel like I landed somewhere in the middle. I think Philadelphia was way more physical than them.
Yes, which I didn't think it could happen.
Harris's fumble hurt because you guys are kind of back in it. But I believe, I didn't write it down exactly, I only had like 160, 170 yards of offense in that game.
Yeah, they shut us down.
I mean, Eagles held the ball too.
I will say, like you just said, though, if Najee didn't fumble that ball, we were driving. We could have scored there, and then it wouldn't have gotten, I don't think, like out of hand like that. We would. I mean, it would have been, if they would have scored 27, we would have had 20. So I don't know. It's unfortunate, but
Pittsburgh only had 11 plays in the second half.
Yeah,
total. 11 plays. You're not going to win a lot of games if you don't have the ball. So,
but they just kept doing it. They had the ball for 10 and a half minutes, 10:36.
Yeah,
it didn't score.
They had a 94-yard drive, 10.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was around the ball.
And we just couldn't do anything about it. I mean, especially against our defense, who I thought was superior. Yeah. But, it's not. I will say we did hold Barkley to 65 yards and 20 carries. I mean, that's what's the epitome of what we do. But Jalen Hurts just stood up this game. Like, this was a game for him and A.J. Brown to get back on track. I mean, it was all of that drama and rumor around those two. and then they got back on track, and of course they wanted to do a statement game, and it was this game. So
Sure.
It's just a tough spot to be in, but I mean, I like where we're at. I still like
So
where
you
we're
don't that game that loss doesn't.
I mean, it
sway
hurts.
your opinions of where they're headed either way.
No, yeah, it hurts, especially like the way I thought we could have played better in that game. The way I thought it was going to go, it didn't go that way. I like where we still are, not as much as I did last week before this game happened, because I just think we're going to get dominated. Like if we even win the first round, the second round game is going to be interesting in the playoffs. So, but this is more along the lines of you can't really worry about this game because next week you can clinch your division, right? You know, against your rivals. So we just got to focus in on that game, and it's no foul for us here at this point. But I wanted to win that game, yeah, for sure. So we give them then they won their division because the Commanders, or no, yeah, they I thought they won their division after that win, didn't they?
I think they did
because the Commanders 9-5, and there's how many?
And the Eagles, did the Eagles beat them head to head? Yes,
they did. So they I think they did.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I'm like in that spot. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we just need more. We need more offense, and it may be down to the point where we're at like, is it the same old offense again? I don't know. I don't want to say that because we had great offensive showings this year, like better than I ever thought we could, and
I worry. I mean, I do think it's like the makeup and the identity of that team has changed over the years too. I mean, the Steelers have always been known for steel curtain, having a great defense, but I do feel like as many playmakers are on that defense, and T.J. Watt specifically, I do feel like not only the offensive struggles they've had, I feel like the other struggle they've had is when the defense needs a stop, they don't seem to get it like they used to.
Yeah.
I mean, to let a team take the last 10.5 minutes of a
you
football
can't do
game
that
when you had them pinned on their own too. That's demoralizing. That's like hurt. I would rather give up. I mean, we talked. You know, when I went to that Titans game, the Vikings game, they dominated that game defensively. They gave up a 99-yard fucking touchdown.
Yeah.
But that's one of those like fluke. Okay, like you know, the defender got beat. They threw a bomb. Like those are easier to get over and shake away than just letting a team every third down just convert. I mean, and just get 3-4 yards every play. Like that just wears you down. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like I've seen that a lot. That's kind of an underrated thing. The offense has gotten blamed for a lot of the struggles over the years with the Steelers. But I feel like people are overlooking the fact that the defense becomes almost soft, like in the second half of games.
We had two key defensive players out last week too.
Sure.
We had
what's the status with Watt, by the way? I mean, he left.
He got hurt.
Is he fine? Like,
I don't know. I think he's still questionable to play this week, which would suck. We don't want that to happen.
No.
We need George Pickens back for our offense. That's all I can say about that. We'll see. If TJ doesn't play, we're probably not. I don't think we're going to clinch.
What is it with the Watts and the Boses?
Did you get hurt?
These guys are fucking like freak athletes. Like I would love to have any of them on my team. But none of them can make a fucking season.
Yeah.
And is it like, do they like throw themselves around with such reckless abandon that they
they don't
put
care.
themselves in these positions more to get hurt?
Yeah.
Like what
is it? It's a good question to ask. Like I don't even sometimes I think I don't know how some of those like the Saquons of the world never made it through a whole year. Christian McCaffrey's never made it through a whole year. But it's also those kinds of players that just I don't know if they don't care about their physical being. Like they just have to get the yard, they have to get this or that, and then they don't care about that.
But I felt like Polamalu was that kind of player. Like he was involved in every play, but I feel like he never fucking missed it down.
No, he never did.
Right? You know what I mean?
Never did. Yeah.
I mean, even some of them, even when they're quote unquote healthy, I feel like every 3 or 4 plays they're on the sideline,
right?
Like getting a breather or whatever.
You always heard about Polamalu, and Pat McAfee would always talk about Polamalu coming through the C gap. Like what you see out there, Polamalu right here, right? Yeah. And that is who he was, and he never got hurt. Like you said, I don't know what it's going to take, but we can't lose T.J. Watt like T.J. Watt retired. If he retires like that, he's a guy who stays on this team for the rest of his career. But if he starts going through so much injury, he just tore pec last year. Like if he just starts doing all this stuff, he's going to retire earlier, and it's just going to suck.
Yeah.
We need him in his 30s. He's that guy. I wanted to say also though, some of these Yinzers and the Steelers people, I mean, they're saying that this was they've proven to us that we're like a fraud. We're a fraud team. We're not frauds. I think we're still a good team.
And that's why I came out of it somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't think this proves that the Steelers are not legit contenders.
Yeah. When we had like 9 wins, or when we had like 11 wins last year, or whatever, 4 years ago, I don't remember the year we were frauds. Like we were probably the worst 10-win team in the NFL.
Yeah.
This is not that case, in my opinion. It's not. So just want to say that.
And I tell you what, for the Eagles, they could have went either way. They could have, with all the controversy over A.J. Brown getting the ball or not, that could have went sideways, which is one reason I picked Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Again, you try to put Tomlin in that underdog situation. That's never a good formula. But I do feel like that I felt like there was maybe more there than what was being led on. And I still remember the Eagles collapse last season. So I was thinking maybe we're back to that. Oh,
I hope not.
That's what I was banking on.
Man.
Now I'm afraid it's going the other way.
I feel like it's going against us now. I
feel like now they're going to fucking just go get that number 1 seed, which scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden the Vikings are back in play for that. So we'll get to that.
Right.
But all right. Well, anything else to add for your Steelers? Or
I'm glad we talked about it now. Got it out of the way. Yeah. Right. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts can keep throwing the ball like that, team's super.
That was a great post-game interview, by the way, with Jalen. He's like, "Was that what you
wanted?"
For?
Yeah,
that was fucking great.
That was great. He threw great. He really did. Almost threw 300 yards. Like it was a proving statement game. So yes. He did it. Yeah.
I can appreciate the sarcasm there. That's how I am in my work life.
Right. Right.
All right. So yeah, let's. What other games we got out there?
Yeah, we got Chiefs Browns. I guess we can talk about a little bit.
Sure.
Patrick Mahomes goes down.
It did come out today that
it's negative.
He's starting Saturday.
Oh, he is starting. Yeah,
he is starting against Houston.
The X-rays were negative, so I guess that's good, for the NFL.
Sure.
But we play him soon, and now we're gonna.
Less than a week.
Less than a week.
Yeah, a game Saturday and then another one Wednesday.
Yeah, if we can win that game and lose to the Ravens, I think we clinch at that, or we can get into the playoffs at that game. So it's going to be interesting there.
Wow, it just occurred to me that we have to preview 2 Steeler games on today's show. 2. So yeah,
you're right.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what we'll do.
Yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and the Browns now going to DTR, moving on from Jameis Winston. I don't know. He was. Where were you going anyway?
Yeah.
Okay, but maybe you got to see what you have in DTR.
Yeah,
I get it. You got to try something. Winston's been a turnover machine, and that's what's been killing the Browns. So
right.
You got to try something else.
I will say, I don't know how this is fantasy talk a little bit. I don't know how this is going to help Jerry Jeudy. He's been having great games. Had 100 yards last week, no touchdowns, but this is a spot where you don't know where Jerry Jeudy was for pretty much all year. He started heating up in week 4. Now you don't know what you're going to get out of him. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially for people in the playoffs right now. It's going to be interesting. You had him in a flex spot, and now you may not even start him. But anyways, yeah. The Browns just couldn't do anything. So it's too bad. We talked Bengals, Titans, Commanders, Saints, and then Ravens, Giants. Really anything else from those games? I don't have anything else.
I got nothing else in there.
And the next one's Cowboys, Panthers. Cowboys 30, Panthers 14. I thought this was going to be a lot closer, to be honest.
Carolina was favored for the first time in 34 games.
Yeah.
And I liked them in that spot. I believe I picked Carolina.
Yeah.
Minus 2.5. There was a sequence in the first half where they were driving, getting ready to go up. I think they were either down by 1 score or a couple points or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they turned it over inside the red zone, and the game just went south after that. So, Dallas is slowly.
They're gaining momentum.
They really are. They've won 3 out of the last 4, and their only loss was, the special teams gaffe after the block punt against Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
So, if it weren't for that, they'd be on a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah.
They're still mathematically alive. The playoffs would be in a little bit better position had they won that Bengals game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just false hope. I
think it is.
Dallas needs to do something different there.
And I think they still have to play the Eagles again, right?
They do.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting there.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't really have Cooper Rush threw 3 touchdowns. That's good. They're, like you said, building momentum a little bit, but maybe it's just a spot where they don't have any really chance. But
yeah.
Next one, Jets Jaguars. Jets 32, Jaguars 25. They finally.
Jets finally gonna win.
Yeah.
Well, if they weren't gonna win that one. Oof.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams had a career game. Well, one of them.
Yeah.
Almost 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. So.
Yeah, I saw that. He had stud fantasy day.
Yeah, it was awesome. But
I've piled on Aaron Rodgers all year.
Yeah, you're done.
I don't need to keep going. He's
You're
irrelevant, just as I suspected he would be come December. So
yeah,
makes my heart warm.
Next one was Texans Dolphins. Texans 20, Dolphins 12. Too bad for the Dolphins here. Maybe they had a little bit of hope going into. They definitely had more hope in that game for playoffs, and now. It's too bad. Texans take it. Texans look good. They have the division now, I think, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yep.
So, but that Colts loss.
The Colts loss, which we'll get to in a minute. Well, I guess Tyreek Hill had some kind of cryptic Twitter message in the last 24 hours.
What was it?
Something about coat.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I got to find it now.
Of course, we remember several weeks ago when Jordan Addison was doing the free three and.
Yeah, 3-3.
We sure as hell let
it's
him
so
lose
funny.
Anyway,
every time you text me that, I laugh.
Every time he scores now. 3-3, baby.
So funny.
3-3.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I should have written it down, but something to the coach.
Oh, come on. It was the shortest statement. Here it is. It's time for me to go, coach.
Time for me to go, coach.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's definitely. I guess it's not really cryptic.
Yeah.
That's pretty much saying. But I don't know. Does that mean it's time for me to go? Like release me? Like in the playbook, or are we talking like time for me to fucking get the hell out of
like
game?
See ya. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know. If he goes can you get released and picked up right now? Are we in a time in the NFL where you can do that?
I'm the wrong guy to ask on that.
I don't know because I know that the deadline's done, but I don't know about all of that. So if he can get back on the Chiefs though right now,
oh my God.
See ya. See ya. He's like, I don't know why I ever let you, Pat. I don't know why I ever left you.
Maybe that's why Pickens is hurt. Maybe the Steelers are going after him.
Oh, I freaking dude! Oh my God! Don't get me excited like that.
No, well, he'd only last one game on that shit ass field. As soon as he tries to cut, bust his knee.
You see George Pickens catch everything now on that field, so you see him catch everything.
Well, he doesn't have to make cuts and doesn't run like a cheetah.
Yeah. Next one was Broncos Colts. Broncos 31, Colts 13. Broncos, man, which is going to be a fun matchup. We're going to preview this week. Broncos Chargers, but what a turnaround this year for the Broncos, huh?
I can't stand it. Fucking Sean Payton.
I know.
I mean, he's a good coach. He's just smug as hell, and I can't stand it.
Yeah. They literally told them, give me a few years and I'll get you back.
Yeah,
I mean, he did.
Yeah.
He is right now.
But the one thing from this game, he's a great veteran, smart player, but we got to kill Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
he completely changed this fucking game. When will players stop dropping the fucking ball
dude.
before you cross the goal line? How fucking hard is it?
Stop doing it.
And I was watching it live, and I thought to myself, it didn't look as egregious as a lot of them that you see. And one of the reasons was the ball, from the viewer standpoint, was kind of concealed a little bit. But I live, I was like, that looked early. Like,
it looked early.
I was like one of those, man, I really hope they don't fucking dive into it. And then the one camera angle made it look like he was still okay, and that he dropped it early, but that he was still okay. So I'm like, okay, I don't think they're going to overturn this.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they showed the other camera angle, you're like, motherfucker.
You dropped.
And this was going to put it at 19-7, which analytics would tell you probably maybe go for 2. So either way, you're up 12 to 14 points. Somewhere in there, you're up 2 scores. Okay? It was kind of a turnover fest game on both sides at that point anyway, but I think that puts the game away because as soon as that happened, Denver scored 24 unanswered. Everything just shifted in that game. That broke it. It was over. And, I mean, you're talking the Colts were still around for a playoff spot. Technically, Houston hadn't the division wrapped up yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But
they needed a win.
Wild card stand, they needed that fucking win.
Right.
And Taylor's owned up to it. He put it on him. You know, he was walking around to all his linemen on the sideline and apologizing all the way up till the end of the game. Not just that. I mean, he realized the magnitude of that play.
It would have been a whole different game if he would have scored there. Yeah.
Now I will tell you, and I think we might have talked about this a couple episodes ago. My pet peeve with this fucking rule on fumbling at the 1 yard line and it rolls out of the end zone, becoming the possession for the other team. There was nobody around fucking Jonathan Taylor. And again, this is a boneheaded play. I led off by saying, when will players quit fucking dropping the ball at the 1 yard line?
Yes, yeah.
Why? Well, quit fucking doing it. It is their fault.
Yeah.
But when there's nobody around, nobody's recovering it, why does it automatically go to the other fucking team? If that ball would have bounced out of bounds at the 1, the Colts would have had first and goal at the 1. It's still the Colts' ball because Denver would not have gotten possession.
Yeah.
So why does that goal line all of a sudden change possession rules?
That's a good point.
I just don't fucking get it. And I think eventually they're going to change it because it has been talked about for a while. Jefferson, I remember at a Thursday night game against Philly a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, fumbled at the 1 yard line, a game that we lost by fucking 4 in. So, we should have fucking won that game.
Right.
So, I feel like I remember them talking about it for days after that.
Yeah.
You know when they're going to change it? When a fucking playoff team loses because of it.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen.
Change it.
You know, or one of their darling fucking teams.
It's like the Chiefs,
Green Bay, Kansas City.
Yeah, right.
Dallas, San Fran, whatever.
Yeah,
it's going to be one of them fucking teams. It ain't going to be the fucking Vikings. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's what's going to happen. They're going to eventually change it when it becomes a bigger stage that it happens on. And again, he should be punished for that. You know. I don't know. I just don't understand why the rule changes. I don't know why it can't just simply go back to the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
If you want to punish them because of where it happened, then put it back at the 20 or something.
Yeah.
You know, make them have to go earn it a little bit more. But why are they losing possession?
Right. And
I don't understand why they're losing possession.
Now we're going to start talking about where the ball goes out at. Like, if it goes out the back of the end zone, miraculously gets out of his hand and it goes in the back of the end zone, that's a fumble. What do you score that? Like, because if you were to do that as a player, that's a safety.
Well, it comes back to...
Like, if you're on the opposing team, it's a safety, right?
Sure.
So if how are you going to start scoring those things? If it goes on the out, like in the sideline, like it goes right next to the pylon, it goes out of bounds that way, I can see the 1 yard line, for sure. It's just now, which you're not going to get going all the way back to the end zone all the time, of course, but... more along the lines of what you're talking about. Yeah.
Sure.
It's going to be interesting to see. They're going to have to fix it some way, somehow. Yeah. But
it's just a little pet peeve. So.
Yeah.
Another one while I'm thinking about it, pet peeve, just quick. College football this year started going to the 2 minute. So I'm going to say warning, but it's supposed to be timeout.
Right? That game is like
why the fuck
30
does it have
minutes
to be
longer
different?
now.
Well, no. Why does it have to be 2 different words? The NFL, we have 2 minute warnings. College football's calling a 2 minute timeout.
Yeah.
Like, if you're adopting the same rules,
just use the same rule.
Fucking verb. Use the same fucking verbiage.
Yeah, it's another one.
It's just like a little irritating thing for me.
Yeah.
I guess. But it's the same fucking thing.
It is.
You're stopping the clock in 2 minutes.
Which adds another half hour to that game, by the way.
Sure. And you know what? The NFL, maybe the NFL verbiage, just because we're used to it, maybe that's the verbiage that's dumb. You know, calling it a warning. Just call it a 2 minute timeout. I don't care. Either call it a timeout or a warning. I don't need one for each sport.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing. So
I wish they would have never done it, though. That's my pet peeve. I don't like it at all. In college, I don't like it. I don't think it's good, but whatever.
Well, I mean, it is an NFL factory at this point anyway.
It is.
So they're just
Why
trying
not
to
do it?
I mean, do you think they'll ever go to the 2 feet in bounds in college then?
No.
Do you think they'll always keep the 1?
Yeah, because these guys are already trying
do you
to
think
get
they'll
2
let,
feet down.
Do you think they'll let the NFL go to 1?
No.
Okay.
If they ever do that, I mean, it would be...
They always want more scoring, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And the guys will do it. I mean, there's going to be miraculous catches in the NFL. They would allow that to happen. So.
Yeah, if they had just 1, that'd be a lot.
I mean, you guys almost had it, or we'll get into your game, but I think the Bears almost had an interception. I mean, it wasn't anywhere near it. The Sam Darnold threw it in the out of bounds, but the guy was like, the quarterback was like almost. I don't even know if he got a foot down, but like if it's that close, dude, and they roll it that way, they can't overturn it. It could get crazy.
Crazy. You're right. That's all I had on the Colts Broncos though.
Yeah, too bad for the Colts. Next one, Game of the year, I think, so far. Bills Lions 48-42. Bills winning.
Finally was right on the Lions losing the game.
Yeah, dude. Jared Goff throws 5 touchdowns.
And they lose. So that's what's
almost
funny.
500 yards.
We talked about the Colts game or the Lions game against the Texans a couple weeks ago, where Goff threw 5 interceptions and they won.
And
he
this
throws
time
5 touchdown passes and they lose.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about your team, but
yeah.
I tell you what. I mean, obviously I'm hating on the Lions right now because Viking fan, we're chasing them. Although in some ways they're chasing us at this point.
With that for that loss.
Well, technically they still have the tiebreaker as we sit today. If they were, if they canceled the last 3 games of the year, Detroit wins the division because they beat us head to head. But the Vikings, as do the Lions, now control their own destiny. So they went out, they get it. There is still some mathematical figuring out of strength of schedule that if the Vikings went out, the Eagles went out, there is not a clear cut as we sit today on who the number 1 seed would be.
Oh, really?
Because it depends on what our opponents and how they fare in their other games. Because it comes down to strength of schedule.
So, interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
So there's a lot to unravel. 3 weeks to go. At the end of the day, Minnesota just needs to win the fucking games, and then we'll figure it out. So, because I really, really don't want to have 13 wins and have to go on the fucking road.
I know, right?
Seems so unfair.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So I just want to win them and be sure of a home game.
Yeah, you got
for the number 1, but worst case, we're the number 2.
Right.
I'll take it, and we'll figure it out. But I don't want this team to have to go 3 straight on the road. I just don't. So, but the Lions, I cannot remember, maybe other than the 49ers this year, a team having so many fucking injuries in one season with
I know,
good, like, high-level productive players.
And they only lost by 6 in this game.
The quarterback positions, like the only thing they haven't had injuries on.
Yeah.
I mean,
for the Bills to score that much, you see how hard they are in defense. But, like, to only lose by 6 and for Jared Goff to throw 5 touchdowns and almost 500 yards with how much they are banged up, I mean, it kind of throws. And I think another defensive player
most of them are. David Montgomery's out for the year.
Yeah, that's right. David Montgomery's done. So, and now I think Gibbs can really run it into 2 or 3, but still.
But can he do it for a whole game?
I know.
And Montgomery's been your goal line guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always a guaranteed anytime touchdown. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm starting to really, really believe in Minnesota now. I actually think we're going to go in and win that game.
Yeah.
Especially if it does mean everything. If the Vikings Lions take care of business the next 2 weeks.
But it's at home for you, right?
No, it is in Detroit.
Oh, it's in Ford
It's
Field.
in Detroit, but
wow.
I don't know. I mean, the injuries can be hard to overcome. And knock on wood, Minnesota's relatively healthy. I mean, they lost Darasell that Thursday night game that we did our first broadcast on, and O'Neal. I'm a little concerned about O'Neal. He left that game. Did you see his replay of that? They didn't show it until like 10 minutes after it happened.
Oh, that's
fucking gruesome. I mean, I don't know how he didn't break his leg on the spot.
Oh,
but he came back in the game and played, and then came back out. So I don't know. It still remains to be said that he was a participant in practice this week. So we may have dodged a bullet. I hope we did. But that's about it. Stephon Gilmore's been dealing with a hamstring injury, but he's supposed to be back this week.
Dude, a great pickup for you, too.
We are fucking...
He's a great
We're good right now. And we got 3 weeks to go. I mean, shit could still happen.
You still have to play Green Bay Lions, right?
And we got a tough schedule. We got to go at Seattle, which their quarterback situation's up in the air.
Yeah,
that game looks a little easier than it did 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Charbonnet hasn't practiced this week either. Neither has Kenneth Walker.
Dude, what the frick, dude?
Yeah, so Minnesota might get Now, but this is a stadium that not just the stadium, but a city that they are historically bad in. And I think they've only won 3 times ever in Seattle. Haven't won there since 2006. So that's, historically, we don't do very well there. Just like we don't in Cincinnati. We've never won in Cincinnati.
Oh, that's interesting.
Ever.
Wow.
And you think about, the Bengals aren't, some juggernaut in the last 60 years. I mean, there should have been some winnable games in there. But, we don't do well in certain cities, and this is one of them. So that scares me, the historic.
Yeah.
But that might prove, how different this team is if they win.
If they win this game,
we're not that stigma of, most of us Viking fans were waiting for it.
Yeah,
we're waiting for the fucking shoe to drop.
Yeah,
so we'll see. But
Yeah, that's all I had on that game. Bills Lions, great game. Josh Allen MVP, and he's the only one that can lose it. Yeah,
it's his to lose though.
Right. I mean, Jared Goff, after that performance, if he would have won, I think would have thrown him into that more of a number one conversation. I know he's probably up there and in it, but yeah, Josh Allen, amazing. Next one, Cardinals 30, Patriots 17.
I don't know. I didn't see very much of it. I mean, Red Zone wasn't on it very long.
No.
Connor had a good game. Arizona stays alive, I guess. Pretty convoluted.
I think this is a very interesting Trey McBride. I got to talk about him for a second. Fantasy-wise, the number one tight end all year. And he hasn't had a touchdown. Not one.
And he's rated the number one?
And he's rated the number one tight end. He's on verge to getting Deontay Johnson's record of most catches and yards without a touchdown in a year.
Wow.
And you just can't let that happen for Trey McBride. You need to throw him in the end zone. Throw him in the end zone. Yeah. Shout out Fantasy Focus for saying that and shouting that out. But I took it from them. But I just had to say it on this show because that is absurd. He's been so good all year for them. And no touchdown. So
wow.
Freaking crazy. Yeah. But the Cardinals, it's just interesting now, though, because Seattle did lose, right? So the division is not all the way done yet.
Yep. So, and the Rams won that squeaker against the Niners, so now the Rams are kind of in control.
What an interesting.
And I think as of today, they have the tiebreaker right now.
Oh, okay.
So if Vikings stay in that 5 spot, we could have a rematch of our first podcast. Which I'd take that. I mean, I think the Vikings outplayed them. I think we got fucked on the refs in that game.
You can get a revenge there.
It would be a team I'm not. I would rather play them than Tampa Bay right now. The way Tampa's playing.
Oh, I know. Yeah. The Chargers kind of fell off too, but we get to that right now. Buccaneers 40, Chargers 17.
Wow. Yeah. Tampa's just and Chargers defense has been great all year.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
and their defense usually, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Tampa's
all year.
Hot. Tampa's hot.
Yeah.
I think they're going to want to run away with that division now.
Yeah. Mike Evans is back. Baker's still throwing it because Mike Evans is back. Of course, like you said last week, no Chris Godwin, but Bucky Irvin's back and playing. He had 117 yards, so keep it rolling for them. Yeah.
Chargers need to bounce back tonight. Otherwise, I mean, they could have lost out on the playoffs altogether. There's still some teams behind them, Miami, Indy,
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big win for the Chargers tonight. They need to have it tonight.
Yeah, they do. It's a must-win there.
Yep.
And then to wrap it all up on Sunday, Packers 30, Seahawks 13. I'm scared of the Packers, dude.
Yeah, they look good.
They do look really good.
They ran all over Seattle in that game.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs is a top 3 running back right now in fantasy, I think. And Jordan Love just keeps producing. He just keeps throwing the right passes, the right plays, and he's doing it.
They're most likely. I mean, the only thing for them is if they're going to make a Super Bowl run, they're going to have to do it all on the road.
Yeah.
Which can be done. It's going to be a tougher path for them to get there. So.
And do you know their schedule, which I know they have to play you.
They get the Saints Monday night.
Saints.
And then us, and then
Bears.
Maybe the Bears. So I mean,
they
definitely got 2 wins in there.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
And they got the revenge factor with us since we beat them in Lambeau. So.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Wow.
Yeah.
We can get to your game.
Sure. Let's talk about the pathetic Falcons.
Yeah, let's talk that first.
15-9 over Raiders.
Yeah.
I was at a buddy's house. We had it on no sound.
Yeah.
So on commercials and stuff, I was flipping back. Didn't look like I was missing much.
Mm-hmm.
Cousins might be done.
He is done.
I wonder how much of that Achilles heel is affecting him. Or is it just did he just?
This division isn't.
Did he become 37 overnight?
Yeah. And you said the Bucs are running away, the Bucs are running away, but the Falcons, they're not out of it, and they're benching.
They're not, and they actually have winnable games, especially this week.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
What does this show you?
I don't know if this was the time to do it.
No,
but if you were going to do it, maybe it's the time to do it because of the schedule. I don't know.
Right.
But I mean, you're only game out, and any of the games in hand on. For the head-to-head on Tampa, so you got the tiebreaker.
Ugh.
So I mean, you're literally 1 game out. So I just don't.
Feels like you're giving it a little bit away.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
But that's the pressure of when you draft a rookie quarterback that high.
Right.
Right. You almost feel like you got to do it at this point.
Well, this is a compliment to what we've been saying all year too. Is it's going to come out to if Penix is good. Another addition to how good this draft class actually is. It's crazy. How good they are. And if he pans out, dude, what a year for a draft class. What a year. That's all I got on that. So, and then finally, Vikings 30, Bears 12.
Yes, let's go.
The Bears suck.
So what they do?
They are very bad.
They do.
Yeah.
There's another thing. If you'd have taken my prediction after the Hail Mary that they would not win a game the rest of the year, I bet money line on the team they were playing every week.
Oh,
guaranteed money.
Yeah,
yeah. It was guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money.
What did you think? First off, the one thing I'm dying to know, the jerseys. What did you think?
Well, I was gonna talk about that because I like them, but your guy Tony Kornheiser hated them.
Oh yeah,
hated them. And a lot of people hated them. You're the purple guy. You're the purple eating.
Purple people eaters.
Purple, whatever.
Yeah.
You are. I mean, in that sense, I like them. I always like color rush jerseys, especially when you go all white and your middle of your field is all white. Like I thought it was great.
Which they did do. They did the white logo a couple years ago on Christmas Day, and the white out. The only thing they didn't do was the helmet. They kept the helmet purple.
Oh, okay.
That's the only one. Like when it first got announced and they showed it, I was like, oh, that looks kind of tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it looked like Penn State.
Like,
I'm not sure I loved the helmet. I'm okay with it. Like again, once a year. You know, the specialty thing. Sure. You know. And I did say, hey, they fucking losing these things, burn them, and I don't want to ever see them again.
Yeah.
But they won, so like, okay, if it, I'm okay with it. It's where we're at now. It's a money grab.
Yeah.
It's another reason to buy shit. I didn't buy into it. I don't have the Winter Warrior jersey.
Right.
I did my own version of the whiteout.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have put that up.
We should have put that as a, dang it.
Maybe we'll do it if we win a Super Bowl. How about that?
Yeah. That's good.
We'll probably have some interesting pictures if we win a Super Bowl.
Oh, gee. Yeah.
If either one of us do.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, I did my own version of the whiteout with just the regular road white jersey. I had the white Michigan sweatpants.
Yeah.
I have white shoes that are Viking shoes. I had the white gloves. So I did my own whiteout.
Did the whole thing
without having to buy the Winter Warrior jersey.
Yeah.
So, and I've never bought in a color rush one because there's never that guarantee they're going to wear them again. Like if they committed to, okay, we're going to do this every year around Christmas. I would probably actually buy one and then wear it for that weekend's game. Like that's just what I would do.
Yeah.
But I feel like they'll either, if they do it, there's just going to be something similar. It's going to be a different version of it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
More yellow in it or something.
Although technically this is the second time they've done a whiteout. So maybe it is something they plan on doing at least maybe every 2 years or something.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. Not everybody was on board in the stadium. You can still see hints of purple and some people dressed up like real Vikings. You can see some brown in there.
Yeah.
And obviously they're cool Bears fans. But I mean it looked cool on TV, I guess. Like one of those things that whatever. I just wanted to win. I didn't care what the fuck they wear.
Yeah.
I think we're camouflage for all I give a shit.
Right.
I just want to win the football game. We look good. I mean I said it after the Atlanta game, the run defense is starting to dissipate a little bit. That concerns me, especially when we get into playoff football, because you're going to see that a little bit more in the cold weather and shit. So you better be able to stop it. So I don't know how much of that is just the packages that Flores is throwing out there, making sure he's not getting beat on deep balls, and we're giving up a little bit more on the ground, which does take up more time. And we've been ball hawks all year. We've got a takeaway. We're the only NFL team that has a takeaway every single game.
Yeah.
I believe we're second in the league in takeaways behind your Steelers.
Yeah.
So that's funny that we're 1-2 in that.
Mm-hmm.
And that always correlates though. Like if you're really really high in the turnover battle, you're probably a playoff team. It's just that's always what it comes down to in football.
Yeah.
If you're gonna turn the fucking ball over, you're gonna lose football games. So we're the opposite. We're not turning it over as much. Darnold's thrown his fair share of picks, and Jones has been fumbling, but we're getting them, man. I mean, we're forcing a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, which is what you're gonna
win the packages.
If you keep winning that battle in the playoffs, man. Yeah.
We were beating up Caleb too, boy. I mean, there was shots at him on the side.
That offensive line is bad. Like
the
Bears
are bad. Yeah,
but
really
you
are.
were.
Yeah. Bernard was all over the place. Our free agent signings this year, though, we talked about this before. I mean, we fucking nailed it.
You did.
I mean, every single guy that we
Everyone
picked up. I mean, Darnold. Jonathan Grenard is in the top 5 in a lot of categories.
Gilmore was one, right, too?
Stephon Gilmore. Andrew Van Ginkel.
Oh, Van Ginkel.
Van Ginkel's been.
Where did he come from?
Dolphins.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, he's been a stud for you this year.
Oh yeah. Aaron Jones, huge pickup.
Yeah.
Again, these are 1-year contracts. I mean, this was a team that was supposed to be rebuilding. Like that's like, and here's the scary. I'm gonna put some knowledge to you here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this team is fucking around with Sam Darnold at 12-2. If they win out, most likely number 1 seed, or 2 at worst, if Philly wins out. They have a rookie quarterback waiting that they handpicked and selected number 10 or 11, whatever it was.
Yeah.
With 4 years left on his rookie contract. We have the 4th highest cap space available, so we have money.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the NFL,
and so if we go the JJ route in a year, maybe 2 at worst, because I feel like
you can't go away from Donald right now.
No, and I agree with that. We don't need to do it yet.
Okay.
I think he understands his situation. I think it's going to play out all the way through the year.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to. I'd be stunned unless they maybe got the number 1 seed. Maybe they reward him. I actually think this isn't as fair to him, but he's going to get a hefty payday to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to franchise him, and that's what I would love to do.
Yeah.
Give me 1 more. Let's make sure it's not a complete fluke.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be like 40. He's going to make like $40 million, which is he's making like fucking 8 now.
Yeah.
So it's still a hell of a jump. It's not what he can go get in free agency.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we franchise him so that we can figure it out, make sure JJ is the guy, and that he is ready and healthy and all that. And once you know that, then maybe like I'm not saying Darnold has to play another year with us, but maybe by week 4, week 5, 2025, JJ can slide in, and then Darnold knows, okay, I'm going to be a free agent at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And maybe they let him go before that. I don't know, but
because
don't forget we still have Daniel Jones lurking around. So I don't know. I think he'll end up somewhere else. I mean, we haven't even activated him yet.
Yeah.
I feel like by the playoffs we will. I think he's just still probably learning the playbook. I can't imagine we would have signed him otherwise.
I know.
I feel like he'll eventually end up being the backup before the year's over. But I'm excited for the future of this team. This is the first time, like I always feel like when the Vikings are good, they're at the end of a window. Like 98, we had Randall Cunningham, which we knew was on the back end of his career.
Cunningham,
yeah. Moss was a rookie. But there was other pieces around that we were like, we got to fucking win it this year.
Yeah.
And that proved to be true. It took us 2 more years to get kind of relevant again. Then we drafted Culpepper, and by then, all the other pieces started leaving. Then 2009, we put all our eggs in the basket for Favre because he was 40 years old. And it damn near worked. I mean, we were a gut-wrenching interception away from going to the fucking Super Bowl with that team. But again, he came back the next year, fucking disaster. He aged overnight and it was over. So this is the first time I feel like, okay, even if we do sign Darnold, he's only 27. We can franchise him and get him another year, and we actually have what I believe is our guy waiting, and we have cap space, which we never had. We didn't have it when Cousins was there. So this is the first time that I'm not like, we're 12-2 and it's all out in front of us. I want to win it this year if we can, but this is the first time I feel like, okay, if we don't, we're okay.
Yeah,
this is the first time I feel that we're building something. It's reminding me of Michigan.
Yeah,
for the last couple of years. Like, I feel like we're like in the year 1 or 2 of what Michigan was. Like, okay, we're going to make the playoff. We're going to make the Final Four.
You're right.
If we win it, great. But I don't know if we're there yet. I don't know if we can beat Georgia, which we proved we couldn't.
Yeah,
we shouldn't have lost to TCU, but I still don't think we would have beat Georgia anyway.
Right.
Had we won that game. We probably wouldn't have won a rematch with Ohio State. So I feel like we're probably a year or 2 away, but I'm going to enjoy it while it's lasting right now.
Yeah, heck yeah. You have to.
I'm excited. I think we're going to be relevant for quite some time.
Yeah. The only question mark I have really is J.J. McCarthy. I know I loved him in college. I did. But yeah, that's the only thing I got. That's the only everyone's going to prove us to.
So
get proven.
I told you in the summertime that, number one, the underrated thing about Darnold was the year he spent in San Francisco. Yes, he didn't play a lot, but what he learned from Kyle Shanahan, obviously, he picked something up, right? But a perfect example I can now give you is maybe Cousins wasn't really who we thought he was. But KOC brought him up these last couple of years.
Yeah.
As soon as he doesn't have, now granted, I don't want to say that's the reason, because Cousins is coming off that Achilles, and maybe that's part of what's holding him back. But the fact that he doesn't have him anymore, look at the drop Cousins have, and look at the ascension that Darnold has being under Kevin O'Connell. So I feel like, again, it's all situational. I don't think if McCarthy would have got drafted by the Jets, or give me another bad team, the Giants, if he would have got drafted by any of these other fucking teams, if he had played, I think he would be Zach Wilson.
That's a good point.
He had 5 touchdowns.
Now you're giving him the time that he wants.
But he's going to have the quarterback whisperer as his head coach.
Yeah.
He's got talent around him. He's got receivers to throw to. He's got weapons everywhere. It's tailor-made for a quarterback like him. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's just infectious. I think he's going to be a good leader. I'm excited. I can't fucking wait.
That's awesome.
If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be on the air to say I was wrong about this kid. He just, didn't have the NFL skills to translate, but I'm excited.
Yeah. So, that's awesome. I mean, you can't apologize for winning, and you can't be where you are right now. I mean, this is a great spot. A really, really good spot. I just feel like the whole Sam Darnold thing, if he went to a Super Bowl, you're signing for 5 years. I feel like
so it's a different conversation. If we win the Super Bowl, then you almost have to consider it. Although, I will point out, look what happened in Philly. Carson Wentz was on his way to probably being MVP.
Yeah.
Gets hurt. Nick Foles comes in, wins the fucking Super Bowl.
Well, that's why I think about Daniel Jones.
It is different because, Foles came in later in the year.
Right.
Darnold's been the guy the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he's only 27. I believe Foles might have been a couple years older. But it's very similar. They let him walk. And then guess what? He went on. He never caught on again. So that's the thing that's scary about Darnold. And maybe he knows that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe as much as he could get out there. And I don't blame him if he left to go get the money.
Yeah.
That's his choice. Go for it. But I would question, depending on where he goes, are you going to have the same result?
I know.
Yeah.
So, right.
But you want to make some picks for next week?
Yeah, good recap. We got Week 16 on tap. Broncos, Charger, big start. Thursday night, tonight. Bo Nix, the crew, going into Charger territory in California in SoFi. But Los Angeles Chargers, -2.5.
I'm not going to hesitate. The Chargers need it. I'm going to take them.
Yeah, me too. Give me it.
Yeah, they have to have it.
They do. I mean, that's a must-win game, dude. Yeah, it's you got to do it, and I think they just might. So we'll see for sure. But so now we're gonna get into some Saturday game. This is when we start piling it all in.
I mean, the NFL knew when the playoffs were gonna be, right? This seems such.
Doesn't it? Now you're starting to compete.
And I love the NFL, you know, but I mean, even Christmas Day. That is, again, I'm not an NBA guy. But for as long as I can remember, Christmas Day was an NBA thing.
It is, yeah.
And it's okay to let some of these sports have their day.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. But you could sell me on one Christmas Day game.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened the last couple of years. It does give me something to watch.
Right.
Because I don't watch the NBA, I will watch the Christmas. But now you're fucking around putting 2 of them on.
I know.
And you got 4 different franchises playing 2 games in 4 days because of it.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. It just seems.
And now
it's
one of my teams.
I don't like these Saturdays at all because I want to watch playoffs.
Yeah, right.
So now I'm gonna.
They should have gotten together
back and forth
for a meeting, like the NCAA and NFL. You know what I mean? The 2 guys should have just gotten together and did it. But like you said, I don't like my team playing 3.
Well, and the NCAA does do
days.
it. I mean, we talked about the bowl games
mm-hmm.
next Monday. They're 1 at 11 and 1 at 2:30. Why? Because there's a Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, right.
So they're not trying. They know that their shit bowl game's not going to put eyeballs. Now, I mean, they're pretty confident that they're going to do very well because these are the playoff games, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, fuck you, NFL. We're going to go up against it. I do think that the college game, I'm going to say, I think the college games will outperform the NFL games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially because of how much they mean more than these games. Right? I mean, some of them are playoff implications for this.
I mean, there is more people watching NFL, so I don't know how it'll shake out. But yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll start with the first Saturday game, Texans-Chiefs.
I got another one. Chiefs -3.5. Kansas City. This is one of the games that these teams are going to start playing. In 6 days, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Chiefs just because Patrick Mahomes is back. No, I'm not. I'm taking the Texans.
Taking the Texans. Okay.
+3.5. I think the Texans might even just win outright.
Sure. Yeah, I like the line. Just the way Kansas City's been winning games this year.
Yeah.
If they win off of the walk-off field goal or something. So I'll cover with the 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you. I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans went outright.
Yeah.
But I'll stick with just the 3.5 and just say that.
Yeah. Next one we got Giants Falcons. Atlanta -9. And
You're skipping your Steeler game.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. Steelers Ravens. Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens are -6.5, so it makes me think more people are out, or maybe people haven't committed to playing Sunday. So maybe that line will go down if we get more players back. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm just gonna take the Steelers because we need to. I want to win the division this game. So
I'm gonna take the Ravens, but
I'm gonna take 6 plus 6.5.
I don't like the 6.5.
Yeah.
I would take the Steelers with the points, but I think the Ravens will win outright.
Yeah. Giants Falcons -9 in Atlanta. Give me Falcons with the points too. I don't care because of the way the Giants point, especially last week after me taking them. So
I think Penix will play good enough to win this game, especially with it being at home. I'm gonna say no cover though.
Okay.
I think it's just gonna.
I can't trust them.
Yeah. I would probably have said with Cousins they would have covered, but I'll take Atlanta just to win, but give up the points.
Yeah. Next game, Bears Lions. Detroit -6.5. And it's in Soldier Field. At Soldier Field. Yeah, I like the Lions.
Yeah, I think the Bears can lose out. So,
yeah.
Yep. Give me the Lions.
-7 too. I like that. I'll take that. Battle of Ohio. Bengals Browns in Cincinnati. Bengals -9. This would be DTRs here. Give me Cincinnati -9.
Yep. Same.
Yeah, I don't know.
Same.
Gonna be interesting there. Colts Titans. Colts -3.5.
I like Indy to bounce back here.
Yeah, I like Indiana or Indianapolis -3.5. Give me the under 2 divisional game.
Taylor goes for 150 yards.
Wow.
He needs it. He got to make up for it. He
needs a big game.
He knows he blew that.
It's a good point. Jets Rams. Rams -3. They're in East Rutherford. I don't know.
I like the Rams.
The Rams?
I think the Rams are gonna. Although every time I feel like a team's getting ready to take the stranglehold on the NFC West, they fucking lose.
They lose, yeah.
Maybe
the Jets are back. Maybe not back to win it. Go to the playoffs.
Give me the Rams even more now.
Oh man. No, I'll take the Rams too.
Right.
That's fine. Yeah. Eagles Commanders, good game here. At Commanders, Philadelphia -3.5.
I'm gonna surprise you.
I like the Commanders here.
I think Washington was out right.
Yeah, I like the Commanders a lot.
Again, maybe that's my heart saying I need to Philly to lose the game here.
Right.
To get that shot, but I think it's the opportunity to do it. I think Washington knows there's teams on their heels, so I think they lock up a playoff spot by winning this game.
Yeah. Panthers Cardinals, Arizona -5.
I like the Cardinals.
Yeah, sure, I like them too. I think Panthers can cover, maybe, just maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Next one, Vikings Seahawks, Minnesota -3 in Seattle. Like we already talked about, you guys said you don't play that well.
We don't play well in Seattle historically, but this is a different team.
It is
starting to see it.
It is.
So I think the Vikings win. I think they cover.
Yeah, I'm taking them too. I think they're going to win this game. The 12th man over in Seattle right now is not the same either this year. And like you said, quarterback is all over the place there. So don't know.
And now the running back situation too.
Yeah. Next one, Bills Patriots Buffalo -14 in Orchard Park.
Buffalo all day. I think they cover it too.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't think they win by 3 touchdowns to be honest with you. So
yeah.
Next one, Jags Raiders. This is a game, I guess. Vegas -1.5. In Vegas, give me the Jags. I'll take the Jags. I think Mac Jones can outplay him.
I'll take the Raiders.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just I feel like Jacksonville has one more win than the Raiders do, so
yeah.
I feel like it's just the law of averages or something. So
sure.
I'll take Las Vegas.
What game? Oh my God! The 4:00 slate is so bad. You guys are the game of the week then?
Not technically. I mean, the only game
that's on 425.
The only game that's on Fox. And I know at least here in the Youngstown area, they're not going to be on local TV.
Yeah.
San Fran and Miami is the local game.
Oh jeez.
It's kind of a dog. I mean, again, that's what happens when you spread out the week and put games on Saturday. I mean, Pittsburgh, Baltimore definitely would have been the highlight of the day if it was on Sunday. So, it's pretty slim pickings this weekend, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, San Fran, Miami -1.
Mm-hmm.
Although now it's saying that Garando, is I'm saying that name right?
Yeah.
I think he's out now.
He's out now. They have no running back.
Nobody's running the ball there.
Right.
Give me the Dolphins. Who do the Niners have left? I don't even know.
Yeah. It's going to be a whole different change next year for them. It's going to be a lot of cleaning house, I think, next year for 49ers. But yeah, I'll take the Dolphins too. Hopefully Tyreek Hill isn't all the way out. If he's not, they win that game. So.
Sunday night game is
Sunday night.
Tampa, Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
We were saying Dallas getting a little mini hot streak going, but Tampa's lights out right now. I think they keep it going.
Yeah. I think McCarthy saved his job at this point this year, especially with what has happened over the last few weeks. So I think McCarthy saved his job. But yeah, Buccaneers win this game. I think I'll take the 4-2. So.
Good.
And another primetime game for the Packers. Packers, Saints, Monday night. Packers -14.5.
I like the points, though.
For the Saints, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Green Bay will win.
Yeah, Green Bay wins. Give me the Saints to cover that. Yeah.
And let's go ahead and do the Christmas Day games.
Yeah, let's do that.
Kansas City, Pittsburgh. Obviously, these lines
no lines for
could
these,
change.
Right? Oh, you have lines?
I have them, but it could change drastically.
Yeah.
Especially if Mahomes, gets banged up Saturday, maybe doesn't play.
Right.
As of right now, the Steelers are getting 2.5 at home against Kansas City. I'll take that because to me that would only, that's actually going to go the other way if Mahomes doesn't play.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't be surprised if he does get banged up enough Saturday to not do that.
Yeah.
So, if you can lock it out there with Steelers and points, I'd go grab it.
Yeah.
While you can.
Heck yeah.
So, I like Pittsburgh. I mean, I said that last week.
Yeah.
Even after losing to Philly,
I
think
I've been saying it all this show too. I think I was always looking at this game, and it's a game we can win.
Yeah.
So, is it going to be interesting to see, like, if we can get healthier this week? Then, if we don't play everyone against the Ravens, then let's just be healthy for the Chiefs and win and make the playoffs. So let's just do that. But yeah, I agree. Give me the Steelers and whatever the point spread is at that point. I guess it should be close enough for that. So.
Yep. Baltimore, Houston. See, so what's funny is I like Baltimore to beat Pittsburgh. But then on Christmas Day, I like Pittsburgh to beat Kansas City. I like Baltimore to lose to Houston.
Oh, you're going to put them in an interesting spot, too, with all the different... Because I don't know who would have tiebreaker. We beat them once, and then if they beat us again, and then strength the schedule after that, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I like the Texans in this spot. I think Nico Collins is going to ball out this day, on Christmas Day.
Right now, it's saying the Texans are getting 3. So
3, okay. Yeah, I'll take it.
Situation, these home underdogs with the points. If it's out there right now to bet on,
I'm taking it.
Yeah, go take it.
Right.
So, and then we'll save the Thursday night game. We should be broadcasting.
We may actually play. Yeah.
I forgot there is a Thursday night NFL game too. Seattle, Chicago.
Oh man.
But we'll talk about that then.
Yeah.
So let's get our lock of the week and our underdog of the week for the NFL.
Yes.
And then we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to do the college football playoff preview.
Yeah.
And we'll bring in Kendall for her picks.
Heck yeah.
I think she's waiting in the wings right now. And then when we're done with that, then we'll do our favorite and or our lock
for college.
Underdog for college.
All right, cool.
So yeah. Do you want to go first for NFL? Do you have one of mine already?
Yeah. I'll take.
And again, you could. Oh wait, we're doing the 5-point rule. I guess none of the Christmas Day games will qualify then. So
oh, okay.
Never mind.
Yeah. I will take the Steelers +7 if you have 7. I don't know if you have 7 or 6.5 or 6. I'm hoping 7, honestly.
That's Saturday, right?
Yeah.
I think it was 6.5.
6.5.
But
right.
if you want, I'll give you 7.
No, 6. I mean, it's either or, I guess.
You have the pen.
Oh yeah. Sorry. There you go.
We need Read AI to record our podcast. All right, so Steelers +6.5.
6.5. Yep.
So that's your underdog, and then you want me to go first or go next?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What do I feel good about? I like the Bills. I'm going to take the Bills -14.
Yeah, that's good.
That's going to be my lock of the week. So you need a favorite. I need an underdog.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in another situation all the time.
Yeah, this is where I start to hate the NFL at this point. Like, I can't get good enough. I'll take the Lions. I like the Lions.
The Lions' favorite.
Yeah,
okay.
that's good. Lions Steelers. I like it.
All right.
Hopefully that works.
Let me see.
I need points.
Yeah, I was hoping Washington would have got a couple more points than they did.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because Vegas knows.
They do now.
They know something's up. I might go against the grain a little bit here. I don't know why. Even though we talked about it, I went one way. Now that I'm like kind of looking at it again, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Browns.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Browns plus 8.
They have a good defense, though. They can't count out their defense.
Yeah, maybe I sneak a cover in there. And,
yeah.
You know. All right. So so we got ours. So just to recap, Tyler's lock of the week: the Lions -6.5. His underdog is the Steelers plus 6.5.
You had 2 6.5.
Yeah. 6.5. And then for Kevin, we've got the Bills -14 as the lock, and my underdog, I'm going to roll with the Brownies
All
for
right.
8.5. So we'll take a quick break, and we are ready for college football
Oh,
playoff.
let's go. Okay, we're back. We have a very special guest. Kendall is on the show. Welcome. We're going to go through. We're kind of going to preview these games. We'll give a pick, and then Kendall will give a pick. And I'm probably going to take a lot of Kendall's picks, to be honest with you. So this is going to be fun. So playoff first round. This is exactly what everyone's been waiting for. We got it starting tomorrow on Friday. So it's going to be great. But you want to go first, Texas Clemson? 5-12?
Let's do that.
We'll just start from the top and work down. So yeah, going to be interesting. On TNT. I don't know. It's weird, too. It's going to be interesting.
I don't know how I feel about that. It's almost like the NCAA March Madness doing the same thing. Like they go on True TV, like channels that you're not watching games all year.
Right.
And all of a sudden we get to the biggest games of the year, and it's like, I got to find you on the network.
Yeah.
And again, I follow sports enough that it's not a big deal to me.
Mm-hmm.
But the casual fans, like, why the fuck is this game on TNT?
Yeah,
like,
right.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But number 12 seed Clemson, number 5 Texas.
Yeah.
This is an easy one for me. I mean, if you've got an analysis on it, go ahead. But Clemson's obviously on borrowed time with winning the ACC. Kind of backed into the ACC title game as it is.
Yeah. They should. I don't feel like they should be here right now.
Right.
But,
this isn't one of Dabo's strongest teams.
Yeah.
He's just now getting around to dipping into the transfer portal for the first time.
Which is interesting.
Right. It's crazy he's gone this far without having to do it.
Yeah.
So, I'm all over Texas on this one.
Yeah, Texas is favored by 12. I like this game for Texas here. I'm a Texas guy here for this. It's good. It's in Austin, Texas. It's literally in Austin, Texas. It's literally a home game.
It's going to be the cool thing about the playoff game.
Yeah. So it's give me Texas. Yeah, I like Texas. Kendall.
Do you like them to cover?
Yes. -12.
Kendall, what say you? Clemson or Texas? Who you got?
Sometimes you pick the underdogs. Other times you pick the ones with the higher record, but this time I'm picking Texas.
Nice.
All right.
I like it. That's a good pick. Good
job.
And I'm going to do like a not so fast, my friend Lee Corso.
She watches enough game day.
She do? Yeah? All right, cool.
Trust me. I feel like if Michigan was in this, she'd be coming out with the,
Yeah, whole headgear. We'll put the wing helmet on you. Yeah.
Trying my best to be realistic.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So next game, Ohio State, Tennessee, 8 o'clock. Well, we're just going down the line here.
This one's on a normal ABC network.
Yeah, right. ABC, ESPN. I got to ask you a question.
Sure.
Are you taking this game with your head, or is it your heart that's speaking to you more? Especially
I can give you a pick for both. So
okay, yeah,
you almost have to tell me, what am I writing on my bracket? Am I going with my brain?
Yeah.
Or am I going with my heart? What am I writing on the bracket? I need people to tell me, what am I doing? Kendall, what do you think? Should I pick with my brain?
Yeah, you go first.
Pick with my brain or pick with my heart?
I don't know. To be honest, just go with what your first instinct was.
My first instinct? All right. My instinct is Tennessee. Okay. Because, I'm not going to beat around the bush. That's what I'm rooting for.
Sure.
I'm buying into the fact that these fans are buying all the seats up there. they're not going to outnumber Ohio State fans. Let's be real here.
No.
But Tennessee's only played in 5 other games that were this cold out. So I don't know, what that means historically for them.
Yeah.
My brain is telling me that Ohio State is the better football team and that they're going to win this game. My heart is telling me Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fucking writing Tennessee.
He's writing Tennessee down.
Yeah.
It's
give me old Rocky Top.
Yeah, you know what, Kendall? I want to hear what you picked first because that's going to maybe decipher what I pick. I don't know. I like Tennessee in this spot, but I think Ohio State's a better team. Who did you pick?
I mean, I really like Michigan, but I have to go with Ohio State.
I know you do. You gotta make sure you're right. Yeah.
And that's the smart play.
I did this last year, but they lost. But I still got that feeling they're gonna win.
Okay, all right.
That's the smart play, though. It really is. Again, that's why I said if you
I'm
tell
just
me,
trying to be realistic.
You should be.
I'm not picking teams.
Okay, you should be. If I picked with my brain, yes, I actually think. Again, if you made me, I don't want to bet on this game because of this. I don't want to root for Ohio State. I can't do it in good conscience. I don't think they'll cover.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the line is 7.5.
It is.
I like the points. 100% like the points.
Yeah.
But I do think Ohio State's going to win not only this game, I actually think they'll beat Oregon. So I've got them in the semifinal if I was going with my brain.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the fun, knowing that you guys are probably picking the Buckeyes, I'm picking Tennessee.
He's picking Tennessee.
Just to be different.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I hope it works out for me, but I think Ohio State's going to the semifinal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I kind of agree with you. I think if Ohio State wins this game, they can beat Oregon, especially the way they showed and played against us, the big Penn State in the Big Ten. I am going to take Tennessee to cover this game, plus 7.5. That's going to be a good. I'll just say that it's just going to be a good spread for me on that side of it. But
I think it will be a good game. I think it'll be a good low scoring.
Yeah,
game.
I think there's going to be a lot more orange in that stadium. I really do.
Okay.
A lot of people are coming for that. So, but I will say Ohio State's going to win this game, not by a touchdown.
Do you think a lot of people? Do you think Tennessee's buying up tickets? Do you think people are so frustrated with losing that Michigan game that they're willing to give up this playoff ticket?
It feels
more
that
likely.
way.
Does that feel that way for you?
It feels that way because all these guys on the ticket scrappers are out for Tennessee. Like there's like when you go on SeatGeek right now, I think there's only like the best you can get is 1-seaters because these guys are taking 2-3s next to them.
Okay.
And you can't. That's an interesting thought. How many Tennessee fans could potentially be there? Okay. A lot of people are traveling for this game, it seems. So I am going to take Ohio State. It's the smart play to do. I'm hoping Tennessee can win the game. I want them to win the game.
Sure.
I want to be wrong.
In the same boat. You're just smarter than I am because you're actually writing it down on your bracket.
Yes, right.
I'm not.
You're not. Okay.
Fuck it. And hey, we're obviously scoring with each other, so we're trying to make sure. This is kind of a play for that for me too. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to sneak an extra game in here that nobody else I know is going to have. So,
yeah. Okay.
Next one. The one that kicks us all off on Saturday anyway.
Yeah.
The noon game, SMU and Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
TNT. I had told you a week ago. You got to show me the weather report.
For sure.
Is it going to snow? I'm definitely all over Penn State if it is. It's not supposed to, but it's super fucking cold.
Yeah.
So
it says 26 degrees right now.
26 degrees.
Yeah. Looks like partly sunny though.
I can't. I wanted to so bad not pick any of the Big Ten teams in the first round.
Uh-huh.
But again, I'm going with my heart with Tennessee. I am going to go with my brain on this one. I think Penn State wins this game.
Penn State wins.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Penn State here. I want to see chaos all over the board. I want SMU to win this game, but I am gonna take Penn State. And I don't know if it's really much more into that. But Kendall, what do you got?
Like I said before, sometimes you pick the underdogs. Other times you pick the higher scoring team with the better record, and that's one of those situations. I'm gonna pick Penn State.
Penn State. It's a smart play. You're doing it all right now. I just I completely agree with you on everything you said so far, especially with the teams being picked. Penn State's just that better team right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially in the weather, like you said. So, yeah. Next one, Notre Dame.
The state championship of Indiana.
Yeah, literally, it's in South Bend. I think Indiana really wants to prove that they're much better than people think just because of how they've played against even Michigan during the regular season, but losing to Ohio State. I think Indiana has something to prove here. But we'll see. Notre Dame is favored by 7 points.
Wow.
You want to go first, Kendall, on this one?
Yeah. I feel bad for picking all the better record teams,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go with Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that. I think that's the smart play here. I'm taking all the favorites too. I am.
When the brackets came out, the day they came out, I was all over Notre Dame on this one, and I feel like Signetti pissed me off a little bit when he kind of made the comment, if we were Michigan, we'd have been seated higher.
Yeah.
No, you didn't fucking play anybody this year, and when you did, you got your ass kicked.
You did.
I don't think they're as good as they think they are. And I kind of said that same thing about Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
I was down on Penn State because I'm like, they don't have a signature win this year. And they still don't. They still really don't have the signature win.
Yeah.
But they impressed me enough in the Oregon game that I believe in them. I do think they will beat SMU. I think Penn State's on a great bracket.
Oh, a great bracket.
I think they can win some games here.
I can't believe they got to that point.
Yes. So
I have them in the national championship.
Whoa, a little sneak peeker.
Little sneak peek there. Holy
Wow,
cow,
that's nice.
So
interesting.
I've actually gone back and forth on this. I was all over Notre Dame from the beginning. But I think now that we're getting to the 11th hour of this game, literally the night before now, give me the Hoosiers to win this game.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Signetti wins. He's gonna just rub it in everyone's face. What could be very interesting, it could play out too, because this game is played at 8 on
tomorrow night.
ABC, yep. What could be interesting is Indiana wins this game and then Ohio State loses, and Signetti just got all the talk to talk about. So It's going to be interesting for sure. Okay, we can start back up. Playoff quarterfinals now.
Yep.
Texas, Arizona State, number 5.
And all three, because obviously some of them are going to be different here.
Yeah.
Here. But we all three of us have Texas, Arizona State in this game, right?
Yes, I think we do. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love Arizona State. We were talking about them a lot this year. Scadaboo is a great running back.
Fork up.
I think Dillingham's got something cooking there.
Yeah.
For the future. The future's not right now, though. I'm hooking horns in this game.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be a double-digit game again. I think Texas is going to blow them out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these teams who wins and who's going to be favored and by how much. But the way this is playing out for us right now, we're going to do the whole thing. But I agree. Texas wins this game if Texas does make it. But you're right. Arizona State's building something for the future. And their transfer portal stuff like that out west is going to be interesting. But, yeah, I'm taking Texas. What about Kendall?
The whole time I've been picking the better record teams. But this time I'm picking Texas.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. Number 5. Yeah, it goes over to number 4. I like it.
She got her first lower seed. All right, let's do it.
Yeah. Here's a semifinal.
So we all have all three. We all have Texas in the semis.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the next one, I know you two both have Ohio State, Oregon in this game, and again, my brain also does as well.
Yeah.
So if we're talking my brain,
I
think Ohio State exacts their revenge from the regular season loss and wins this game.
Yeah.
But because my bracket has Tennessee and Oregon in it, I like Oregon in this game, so I'm going to pick Oregon.
He's picking Oregon, yeah. Kendall, what do you like here? Because I don't know.
I think Ohio State is a really good team, and they could beat Oregon if they wanted to, and obviously they want to. But I'm going to pick Oregon.
Okay, yeah.
Now, are you picking with your heart instead of your brain, like I did in the first round? Because you hate Ohio State?
No, it's. I just think Oregon's going to beat them again. They beat them once.
Yeah.
They're going to do it again.
Okay.
I like it.
Ohio State could do it. They could. I believe that they could do it.
Yeah.
Which is not this season.
Sure. I like that. I like the take.
I think they're really going to want them to go, I don't think they want them undefeated, obviously.
No.
But
you don't want Oregon undefeated. No, you don't.
No one does.
I do want to make sure the audience knows, since we're don't have the video here, that she is wearing the Deion Sanders. I ain't hard to find Colorado hoodie, which she wore to school today.
That's
hard to find. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
This girl knows.
That's right. This is Deion house here, for sure.
Colorado will be in the playoff here soon. Mark my words.
If he stays with the transfer portal, yeah. And this is such a tough game for me. I don't know. I don't know.
Because you're battling the same thing I did in the first. You don't want to pick with your brain.
No, yeah, I know. This is.
If you got Ohio State Oregon on this one, I know deep down who you think's going to win.
Yeah. It's just what scares me is the way Oregon played against Penn State.
Yeah.
I know.
And I honestly think if they played any better on defense against Penn State, this would be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see the way that Ohio State comes out and plays Tennessee, because this could be a lot different. Ohio State comes out and wins and runs the ball and wins by 3. Oregon wins next week, or the week they play this game. But right now, as it stands, I don't want to write anything down on that bracket because I don't know how they're going to come out and play.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Ohio State.
Okay.
Don't want to. I should take Oregon. I don't. Let's just go. Let's just keep moving on. Let's move on. I don't know.
We got to write something.
I will write it down.
We got to hold it.
We got to hold it in. Yeah. You got to turn it in.
You got to lock it in.
I will.
All right. So we got the Fiesta Bowl. I believe we all have Penn State, Boise State in this game.
I have Penn
right?
State.
That's right.
All right. Again, I said when the brackets came out, I can't believe the bracket that Penn State got. And it made me even give me pause that, man, SMU might be able to upset them in Happy Valley. But I don't like their chances of going up in the cold and doing it. So I did have Penn State moving on. The Fiesta Bowl, listen, that's the difference for me. Boise State still remembers the first time they were put on a national stage in the Verbal Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. They completely punked them with the Statue of Liberty play, the laterals, the proposal at the end of the game after the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
I feel like all that magic comes back. Ashton Genty runs for 200 yards in this game.
Man.
Boise State beats Penn State.
Wow.
I'm going Blue Turf.
Wow. That's crazy.
I knew I was going to be the only one that probably picked that. So
yeah, I don't know. I think this Penn State defense is good. And the way they played against Ohio State, man, I'm gonna take Penn State.
okay.
I'm taking Penn State. I don't know. Maybe you're right though. Maybe you give me enough juice there for Boise State, but I'm taking Penn State. I'm writing Penn State down.
I mean, yeah, they're a good team, and I think Penn State has what it takes to beat Boise State. I'm picking Penn State, and like I said, I have them in the national championship.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting the way you're going to rank up this next game to who's paying Penn State.
I like that.
So, but next one, I think all of us would have Notre Dame.
No,
you don't. You have Indiana.
Yeah, I did it. I changed over the last probably 36 hours.
Yeah.
I've gone the other way on this one. I got Indiana playing Georgia. It did not, for the record, change my mind on the next game. I know Georgia's got some quarterback questions right now, but I think they have enough defensively that it doesn't matter who they get in this spot.
Yeah.
And again, it's playing in the Sugar Bowl, which they're used to playing in, the big stage. I'm going to take the Bulldogs.
Taking Bulldogs
to get to the semis.
Yeah, I'm going to go and agree with you. I the entire week I thought it was Notre Dame to get into the semifinals, but right now I think Georgia's going to do it, no matter what they have no matter what they have a quarterback. I think they even can get healthy in the next however long they play. January 1st, so they still have a little bit to go. So I'm taking Georgia. Georgia. Kendall.
Like I said, I feel really bad for picking all the higher ranked teams, but I'm gonna go with Georgia.
Yeah, I think it's the right play.
Notre Dame has what it takes, but not this game.
Yeah.
This game isn't their game. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
So your Final Four, Tyler, is
Texas.
You know it's Ohio State. Just say it out loud. Just say it out loud.
Do you think Will Howard actually has what it takes to beat Oregon? Do you think that they do?
I do.
Listen.
All right, I'm taking Ohio State.
They actually maybe should have won the game in Oregon.
Yeah, you're right. In Eugene.
Let's be fair. They were, they had a gaffe at the end and should have at least had a field goal attempt.
Like Michigan last night.
The only thing I'll say is that's a Rose Bowl. That's the Rose Bowl game, and the last time those two matched up was Marcus Mariota's year, I think.
Yeah.
And Ohio State won that game to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was when the 14 playoff came out. So it's gonna. The only thing I'm thinking about is revenge for that.
Sure.
So, but I'll take Ohio State and then Penn State, Georgia. So
you have Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia.
Yeah.
Kendall, you've got your Final Four.
Texas, Oregon, Penn State, and Georgia.
All right, and I'm going Texas. I have Oregon written.
From what
Boise State and Georgia is my Final Four. So, so I know we're a little bit different.
You'll have Texas though and Georgia. So.
Okay. So, the first playoff semifinal is in the Cotton Bowl, which is essentially almost a home game for Texas.
Yeah.
So whether they're playing Oregon or Ohio State, I like Texas in this game. I think they get to the national championship game.
Do you think
their only 2 losses this year is against Georgia with one team. I feel like they're one of the more complete teams.
Yeah.
I like Texas.
Kendall, you go. I want to hear what you guys say, especially because you have Texas, Oregon, right?
Yeah, Texas, Oregon.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Texas has what it takes to beat Oregon. They're a really good team, but I already have Oregon written down, so I'm going to stay with Oregon.
All right. Yeah, in this spot, I'm going to say no more Ohio State. I shouldn't have even said that last round. But I'm going Texas myself, too. I think they are a complete team. And if they get a rematch with Georgia, they're beating Georgia. And just maybe that might happen here, too. So, but yeah, next one, Penn State? No.
Well, you two have Penn State, Georgia. I got Boise State, Georgia.
Yeah.
Again, this is what I was talking about with Penn State having that bracket.
Yeah.
Even if Penn State was in this position, doesn't change my pick for the national title game.
Yeah.
I got the Bulldogs getting there with a rematch with Texas.
Wow.
For the 3rd time.
The 3rd time this year.
And it would be 2 SEC teams, which is what I said.
As you're going for it, yeah.
The SEC was going to end up playing out in the national championship game, and here we are.
I'm regretting Ohio State. Don't make me regret Ohio State. Don't make me regret Ohio State. Penn State, Georgia, for us two. Who do you got?
Well, she already let the cat out of the bag with this one.
Yeah, that's right.
So you got Penn State.
She got Penn State.
Penn State, Oregon.
So we've got the rematch.
I think Georgia could actually beat Penn State. They could. They definitely would.
Yeah.
But I feel like on the last play they're gonna miss up.
Oh man, I like that. I hope so.
Winner, I like it.
Yeah.
So we've got a rematch of the SEC championship.
Yeah.
Kendall's got a rematch of the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is that correct?
That's really cool.
Yeah, you've got Oregon, Penn State.
Yeah.
And me and you got Texas,
Yeah,
Georgia.
I feel like Georgia's just gonna get too excited, like, oh, we're going to the national championship.
And it comes down to it.
And then throw a pick.
I like that. I like that a lot. I really do.
So who do you have winning the national championship in your Big Ten championship game?
I have Oregon winning it all, being undefeated, just like Michigan.
Being undefeated. The only team, too. The only team that was undefeated.
Just like Michigan last year.
Just like Michigan.
Okay. I feel like they could win the national championship.
Oh, that's what she was sitting on. Folks, that's what she was sitting on. She couldn't wait to make that line to say, I got Oregon win it all.
Yeah.
Undefeated, just like
Michigan last year.
She had to get that last dig in.
Penn State would definitely beat Oregon, but Oregon is going to win it all.
I agree. If those two teams matched up, I agree.
I bet it's going to be just like the Georgia-Penn State game.
There you go.
Except on the last play.
Yeah.
And Oregon's going to come back and win it all.
Now, you do see the irony. And did you notice where the national championship game is being played at?
Or maybe it could be
Atlanta, of course.
You got Atlanta, Georgia for the national championship. So if we do have the Bulldogs in it, essentially a home game for them, right?
Right.
Georgia's beaten them twice already. I don't know if it's ever happened where a team has played three times in college football. I'm going to venture to say it has not happened.
I don't think.
Other than the 1900s when there was only 6 other teams.
Yeah.
But I think it's damn near impossible to beat somebody three times.
Yeah.
So I am hook 'em horns for their revenge to win the national championship.
Win the whole thing.
I got Texas winning it all.
I agree. I am.
No, that's not fun.
I'm all in on Texas here. Give me them the whole way. I'm not picking Ohio State, so I can't. Just can't. Give me Texas all the way. All the way.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll say this. I think there is only 3 teams that could win it all, in my opinion, just from what I've seen in the conference championship games and the latter part of the last couple of weeks. And I do think it's Texas, Georgia, and Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think those are the 3 best shots at winning it, and teams that I could actually see rattling off the necessary wins to get it done.
Right.
I felt that way about Oregon literally until the Big Ten championship game. That defense, to me, was so fucking bad.
Yeah.
That I would not. I think if I'm picking with my brain, I probably would have had them out in their first game against Ohio State. But if Tennessee does pull it off, I think Oregon's good enough to beat Tennessee.
Yeah.
But I think Texas takes care of it.
Texas.
So.
Yeah, I agree. I think Texas there for sure. I think there's no way they win 3 times. No way.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Kendall, we appreciate you
Thank
joining
you
us.
for coming on. That was awesome. I'm glad we got to do that. So we got 3 brackets in the ranks for this show. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
We'll see how we all pan out. Like we said before, Big Ten championship game for rematch for Kendall, and then we got the SEC championship game rematch. Right?
Oh, real quick, you know what I can do? is I have all of our bowl picks for the family. We have our little own
bowl
challenge going here within the family.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to rattle off every game in the playoff here, but I'll just kind of give the final fours of the others. So Sean's got Arizona State, Oregon, Penn State, and Indiana. So he's Big Ten heavy.
He did not want SEC.
This is a guy picking with his heart. Trust me.
Yeah.
His national championship, he's got Penn State over Arizona State.
Wow.
So I don't know about that one, but but hey,
he's a homer. He's got to be right for his team. Yeah.
Let's take a look at Goose here. She's got she's kind of got a little chalky like we did. So she's got Texas, Oregon, Penn State, and Georgia. And she's also got a Big Ten rematch. She also picked Oregon over Penn State.
Wow.
So my girls are all about the Big Ten championship rematch here. So, and we're going to shout out Tanya's here. Oh, she's going way off. She's got the Clemson Tigers in the semis. So she's got Clemson, Oregon, Boise State, and Georgia.
Wow.
And she's got Georgia over Oregon for the national championship.
Wow.
So, which is very doable. I like
that. Is interesting.
That national championship is different than others have. So
she got
the dogs going.
The dogs.
What's that coming down the track?
We're not singing that.
It's the Mean Machine in red and black.
Ain't nothing finer in the land
than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan.
Go dogs.
Go dogs.
Go dogs.
Oh.
Give me Texas.
To break all your hearts. Pat McAfee, a generational talent.
So I think the only thing we need to do is we need to get our favorite of the week, or our lock of the week and underdog of the week for college. Right. So and again, you can do a playoff game, or you can choose to do one of the bowl games that we covered. So what was that? There was one that was the 7-point that I kind of like. I was thinking Toledo, right?
Yeah, I think
Toledo and Rutgers were both.
They were both 7.
And Arkansas State, all 3 of those games.
Yeah, there were 7. You picked against.
So I might have to go to that wheelhouse for my dog of the week. Give me the Rockets. Give me fucking Toledo. I'm rolling with it.
I can't believe that.
I'm rolling with it.
Toledo.
I'm gonna take Toledo.
I'm gonna take Kansas State -7.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking that. I don't trust Rutgers.
So Kansas State -7. I got Toledo plus. Toledo was +7, right?
Yeah.
I got no half in there I can sneak in?
Yeah.
No half? No. Would you go ahead and say what you got to say? Nobody's going to judge you. What? Say what you got to say. Say your piece.
No.
Okay. She changed her mind.
Yeah.
Do we have, what's our 7-point lines in the playoff here?
Ohio State, Tennessee.
Okay. Clemson, Texas?
Clemson, Texas is 12, and then you have ND -7, and Penn State's -8.5.
Oh, shit, I should have took
SMU.
took Indiana. That's my underdog. I didn't think about that one. Damn.
I'm taking Tennessee. Well, I mean, I know you can go first, so if you want Tennessee, you take it.
No. I already have my underdog. I'm taking Toledo.
Oh, okay. So you need a favorite.
Yeah,
so if you want Ohio State, you can take them.
Give me Texas. I'll lay it.
Texas.
I'll lay it.
12 in the playoff game.
I'll lay it.
I like it.
I'll lay it.
Yeah, and then I'll take Tennessee +7.5. So
all right,
that's me.
So you want your underdog in Tennessee?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do it. So, anything else? Any last thoughts?
Yeah. Anything else?
Come on. You want to pick an underdog for the week?
All right, let's do it.
Who is it? I have Colorado over BYU.
Oh, I don't even know if they're an underdog.
Let me check.
23-7.
Oh, you're going off of rankings. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Listen, she don't understand betting lines yet, which is a good thing. I don't have my 10-year-olds.
That's okay.
Betting on Vegas.
Yeah.
So
no, that's
it's all point spreads.
Yeah, that's good.
Not rankings, but
that's okay.
Look it up though. Look it up.
It was. It's Colorado -4.5, so they
Colorado's
are
favored.
They're favored.
Okay.
Yeah.
Colorado's actually favored in the game. So, all right. Well, I think that's it. I think we're good.
Great show. Yes. Kendall, thank you for coming on. That was awesome. We are going to keep track each week. We'll be back on 26 more than likely, so that we'll keep track of what we already saw.
We're going to bring you back in.
Yeah.
If your picks are way wrong, we're calling you out on the air. You got to be ready.
You got to be ready.
we get called out if we're wrong. So we'll get you back, and if you've got to re-pick because some of our picks are wrong, then we'll do that. Or we might be saying you nailed every single game.
And nice job. And then you're going to get your kudos.
Yeah, you get your kudos. So
we're going to do it above. All right. Great show.
All right.
Anything else for you?
No.
No? All right.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We'll see you on the 26th.
26th. Love you guys.